Put me on the stage now. I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. Ready to do this.
With an opportunity to make it to their second straight A7FL championship game and to win their second A7FL championship, the Trenton BIC's undefeated season finds themselves inside the craw of the Baltimore Gators in our second of two Final Four games this afternoon on Stadium. Good afternoon again, everybody. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond, live from Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey, on a beautiful day where we just saw the Patterson U punch their ticket to the A7FL title game. And Rob Fabian, something that we thought in the first half of that game was going to happen, but Lenny Manziel and the Baltimore Rare Breed gave one hell of a fight.
I'm very impressed by the Rare Breed. I don't think they should take this loss. And wow, don't adjust the hue on your screen.
The Baltimore, the Trenton BIC.
Those are the Death Row BIC jerseys, and I'm officially dubbing this Redeem the Red. This is the Redeem the Red game. The last time BIC wore red jerseys,
we were playing for
and we got destroyed. My goodness, that is a bright red.
That is a very bright red, and it's a bright, beautiful day here. But the Baltimore Gators also wearing purple uniforms today, so it'll be a battle of the many hues.
Well, if the BIC is redeeming the red,
I hope so.
Let's hope the Gators are not bringing the Barney. Because
the Barney
coming to a game in which the opposing team has death row against across their chest and deciding to go with the purple Gator. It's reminiscent of a 1990s child show in which there was a purple dinosaur.
I think Barney's still rocking.
Is he?
Barney's still rocking in the year 2022.
I don't think the Gators.
Little known fact: Selena Gomez made her debut on television on Barney.
How do you know that?
I have a 1.5-year-old, and I watch incessant Disney Plus. That's why you get constant Disney Plus references.
Let's talk about the last time these two teams played in Week 4 of the A7FL season. The BIC got the win 39-13, and leading into this game, guys, they have only scored 13 in first meeting of the BIC. The margin of victory was the fourth biggest for the BIC so far this year. Right. Ahead of them was the Animals, the Force, and obviously the Snow Tribe 80-0 rout earlier on in the season. Bigger than any margin against any of the remaining Final Four teams, especially the Patterson U. The U lost to the BIC by 2 in Week 3 and 11 in the division championship. Right. This is the least total yard, and for the Gators, the least total yards, the least passing yards, and third highest running yards of any of the winning Elite 8 teams. So a big challenge ahead for the Baltimore Gators against the Patterson U, and you see both sides getting ready, both sides showing respect, getting ready for what will probably be one of the stranger games in a strange playoff, and this might be the best playoffs in A7FL history.
And they always do a moment of silence for Sly. Long live Maury. He lost his son a while back. There's always a moment of silence, always a sign of respect. So LLM, long live Maury. Long live Maury,
indeed. And let's take a look at some of the players on the Trenton BIC who you'll be seeing today. And there's one of them,
evil twin.
One of the evil twins.
One of the evil twins
Master
right
Chief.
there.
Ferrardi looking like an American psycho, getting ready to unleash on the field. There's a reason why the jerseys are red today. And one of the men who have led the A7FL this year across the board
MVP season,
Sterry Codrington.
And it's his second year in the league, and a lot of talk on a Twitter Spaces pre-show on Friday was talking about the rematch of these two teams from a Final Four last year in which Sterry Codrington, a rookie at the time, was only let loose with 2 pass attempts. So a lot of the talk from the Gators is how they did last year in the Final Four and what they're going to do this year in reference to the Final Four. But this season, this sophomore season for Sterry Codrington, they went from a Final Four appearance where they were playing the Gators and only entrusted him to 2 passes to, at times, Courage, and this was from Courage's own mouth, Courage, the longtime and all A7FL running back for the BIC, said that Courage is in the huddle telling Sterry that it's your time, it's your turn. You call the plays for yourself, and as we see the explosive and electrifying Ashanti Worthy, hopefully we get a chance to see a 3-on-1 with him featured today, because that's always a treat. And then there's Ferrardi.
Evil Twins.
And
Look,
Psycho
and Variety.
These
You
two
see one?
defensive rookies that come not only with
Look at this, look at
a
this.
sensational tenacity,
Look
but
at
a
that.
strength that can only come from going to the weight
at
room,
that.
which we
All
do not
day.
do anymore.
I do. Excuse me.
And something that the Vegas Force,
Guys.
throughout an entire week of them talking plenty of things and having plenty of things to say.
And this is the last meetup.
And leading to those interceptions.
This is the last meetup.
JJ.
The Gators.
5
and
tackles for
BIC.
loss.
My goodness.
The last
JJ
time,
again?
Last time these two teams played, the BIC defense,
JJ.
5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions. Columbia, John Columbia, the tackle, had 6 tackles, 2 of them for loss. And this A7FL Final Four is featuring 2 of the hungriest teams. Despite the BIC being undefeated this season, they are playing with a hunger that can, I don't know if it could be met.
Team.
And just like in the previous game in which the Rare Breed guys came in as the team that won, this is the Final Four. Throw out the result in the regular season. The Gators did not come up here to allow BIC to premiere these red and black jerseys and put a route on them. This is a Gators team that has a lot of pedigree, a lot of experience, and they're the only Maryland team to have ever won the championship.
So they've been here before, so they know the feeling, and we want to see if they can repeat it.
And the Gators are going to have to show up and show out early, as it will be Ashante Worthy and the BIC getting the ball first in this game. And that one is going to be an exciting way to get things going. The biggest question for me, gentlemen, is the most important position for the Gators right now, quarterback. Last week we had Ricky Robinson. He went 5 for 10, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, but rushed for 63 yards and a touchdown. We have been waiting to hear on John Gauze Jr. You see Sly Washington there, a.k.a. Sly Boogie. We've seen a lot of different options for them at quarterback. And you see Carlos Crosland there, who has stepped up behind center a few times this year, played against the Patterson U, and has been able to make some things happen. But quarterback by committee can only get you so far. And when you're this deep
against a team like this, you're 100% correct. I don't know what Sly has to do, or who's the other quarterback? What's his name? Ricky or Sly. I don't know what they have to do, but they have to do something, because I don't think them, playing that quarterback is going to be enough. You need a solid QB. Wow, nice hustle.
Well, the most important thing, I think, guys, is when you're asking that question this point in the playoffs and you're facing a team that knows the answer to that question is MVP with Sterling Codrington on the other side. It's a tough question, guys. It's a really tough question to be asking. But the Gators are the type of team that they're going to come in here with a pass rush that they feel confident that they can put some pressure on Sterling Codrington. And if they can equalize by the strength of their defense and still manage to orchestrate some well-timed play calls and big plays from Antoine Matthews, the Super Saiyan, they have a chance in this game. And when you wear a Barney purple, you got to have a certain confidence level. And coming into this Final Four against this death row BIC, wearing that purple jersey, the Gators cannot be more confident with a backup quarterback in Ricky Robinson.
Will the BIC be able to make it to their 2nd straight championship game and send the Baltimore Gators back home down I-95 in the purple rain? We'll find out on the other side of this one. We'll have throw-off for you. Ashante Worthy is getting ready. This is the time for you to go get your drinks, go get your chips, because when we're back on the other side of this in just about 60 seconds, we're bringing you some of the best spring football in the world. You know what? The best spring football in the world.
By far.
BIC Gators next here on Stadium. Whose time will it be on the other side of 60 minutes? It's not just this theme song, but it's a mentality. It's either of these teams' time. Will the Baltimore Gators return to the A7FL championship game for the first time since 2018? Or will the Trenton BIC go to their second straight A7FL title game and a rematch against the Patterson U, who won, if you're just joining us, the Patterson U walking out with a narrow 5-point victory over the Baltimore Rare Breed. And now you see the purple uniforms of the Baltimore Gators. And guys, the energy on each sideline, it feels a little different. It feels like the energy for the BIC is a little more present.
It is.
And the Gators might be going at it a little slower, a little more methodical today.
I have a request to everyone watching right now, especially if you're in the chat. If you are with the Gators, throw in the Gator in the chat. If you're with BIC, throw up the fist in the chat. That's all I'm asking.
And you can also do that by using the hashtag A7FL. Let us know who you think is going to be walking out of today's game and moving on to the A7FL Championship. That game will be live July 10th. We're off next week for Independence Day weekend. We hope you enjoy Independence Day. We'll have a marathon for you here on Stadium. But we will be live, 4 o'clock throw-off time, 3 o'clock pregame show for the A7FL Championship game. That will be live on Stadium. And a lot of people excited for this one. An A7FL.
A lot of fists, a lot of Gators, a lot of fists.
A lot of A7FL fans have been waiting for this matchup, not only because of the regular season matchup these two teams had, but it was one of the most controversial A7FL games
Last season?
The Final Four.
Yeah, the Final
my
Four
goodness.
between these two in the 2021 Divisional Final Four.
Came down to a final play at the back corner of the end zone where a quarterback completely crushed his body trying to get the touchdown and didn't get it. It was an amazing game to watch. My goodness, this kid looks devilish in red.
And Ashanti Worthy in the red and black. He is not a member of the Wolf Pack.
And just for context, number 11 for the Gators, DK Butcher, on the Twitter Spaces saying that he could cover Ashanti Worthy today.
They had
He
3
said
shutdown
that?
corners.
He said that was going to be his job. It's going to be his job to cover him, and we start this game on a 3-on-1 with number 11 for the Gators out there ready to cover the return. And for all of the people who are relatively new to this league, Ashanti Worthy's nickname is Hollywood, and well-deserved, because once he gets the ball in his hand, it's showtime.
I do want you guys to pay attention to how he throws the ball off, though. I think it's the greatest throw-off ever.
Oh, we saw some effective throw-offs in our first game where Marcellus Pack being held.
Let's look at his form.
And this is Aote on the coverage team, which may be a speed mismatch. If not just a size mismatch.
It's a speed
with
mismatch.
Wow. I mean, if you got a guy out there that's covering that much of the screen, trying to cover Ashanti Worthy out here,
And you got Sly
we got some
there, too.
fireworks premature of the July 4th celebration next weekend.
Oof, do not adjust your screen. Don't get up, guys.
If you have friends who love football and you're not telling them right now to watch this game, there is something seriously wrong with you in this one. Pitched a high pop fly, and it will be out of play. It looks like a clean
It's
ball.
even worse. And so for those new to the rules of the A7,
Let 'em know, please.
the 3-on-1 throw-off, because we take soccer out of the game, no kicking, has to travel in the air, inbounds, past the 25-yard line. When it does not, the penalty, and a very horrible
one.
penalty at that when Ashanti Worthy's on the other side, is that the best returner in league history, and that's not an exaggeration.
That's no gas. I would stop Corey if he was
That's a
gassing.
fact.
This is a fact.
The best returner in league history has a running start at the 25.
Clear my throat. There's a lot of huss.
And tries to get past one defender.
He gets caught by Sly.
But at the 40-yard line.
I apologize. A lot of hype for not much there.
But a 15-yard gain and a solid gain at that, and it will be the BIC starting things off with the ball. Worthy will stay out there.
And Sly is a very underrated player in this league. Very underrated. He does it all. There's Bone. Wow.
Yeah, Bone promised that his appearance would be made public.
And you see Antoine Matthews as well on the sideline.
Super Saiyan. I'm seeing a lot of stars out there today.
And Snag Sosa also.
Yeah,
so the Cobras didn't get to the Final Four and think that they were going to take on the top overall seed in BIC without their guys.
Yeah.
The Gators in control on defense here. You see Sly Washington one of the leaders of this team, both as a wide receiver and also he's played quarterback a few times, but also leads on defense. He'll be playing a hybrid linebacker role here.
And let's see what defensive game plan they've come up with to deal with BIC's explosive offense.
And it will be 1st and 10. There's Sterry Codrington. Play action. He'll keep it. He will run right down Broadway. He'll get the first down on the block. Cuts inside and brought down at the 34. And that is how you start for the BIC.
And guys, for some history, I do want it to be known. First play from line of scrimmage last year, Sterry did the same thing and took it for 6.
Took it to the house.
He tried to do it again.
He almost did. Let's see if he can
hurry
up. Play.
Well, this is what BIC has done this year.
Misses it.
You know, Courage, which is one of the greatest running backs in league history, maybe at least one of the most popular, has been turned into a blocker because of the effectiveness that Sterry Codrington has in both aspects that you ask your quarterback to do, both throwing and running the ball.
First and 10. A flag on the play. Someone jumped the line. We'll figure out who. False start, and it will be on the offense. The ball giveth and the ball taketh away on that one, guys.
When you have Courage in the backfield, he starts on 1st down at the tight end position, comes all the way across the field and lead blocks for Sterry. Explosive first play, but brings up 1st and 15 with the penalty there.
Skinny Nick Mays, Bone. I'm seeing a lot of people I didn't see last time.
Abby Mansoray at tight end. Here comes the potential for pressure. Top of your screen is Worthy. Play action. Codrington will keep it. Codrington, using his running ability again, will get to around the 31. So a solid gain there, and it will be a light gain. It'll be 2nd and about 9.
Nick Mays almost makes the play in the backfield there, but that's what separates a guy like Sterry Codrington from the rest of the pack at the quarterback position. What would have been a loss for most teams with their quarterback getting caught on the quarterback choice, Sterry finds a way to get enough yardage to make it 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8, and you see Mansoray at the tight end position, Ashante Worthy at the top of your screen.
And Sterry has turned into the Peyton Manning of this league, constantly calling checks and plays at the line, setting up his blocking. It's the difference between year 1 as a rookie, where he was a great talent, to now he's one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league.
Very focused, another.
And it looks like it'll be another false start, and just that the BIC
it's a lot of nasty work. I don't know what's going on here, but
and I think it's that energy. We saw it between both teams in the first game. That playoff energy, and they're going to probably run the same play here, but it'll be 2nd and 13.
This is the Redeem the Red game, so they have to win in these red jerseys. They have to.
Well, it's interesting to see that they've elected to have more of this running style offense when all season they've been an air it out type team, spread it out. They're coming with a much bigger formation and scheme so far in this game.
And the handoff to Courage Mosey. Mosey
doesn't get too much. I mean, there's been a few teams that have been able to stop Courage. I don't know if the Gators have been one of them, but they don't use Courage as much as they used to back in the day. So,
well, he says the entire season he hasn't had to break a sweat, and he's looking forward to potentially breaking a sweat today. It'll be interesting if the Gators defense forces BIC into a situation where they have to use Courage. The purple jerseys for the Gators already showing some of the white underneath, getting ripped on that tough play, Sly Washington.
It'll be 3rd and 13.
Very, very uncharacteristic start for BIC.
Well, we saw them utilize the run heavy last week against the Force. Codrington only threw for 96 yards, his low for the season. In games of the week or in the playoffs,
by choice.
but rushed for 202 yards, averaged 20.2 yards a rush last week against the Force. Courage Mosey will line up at tight end. 3 wide receivers set. You see Kason Campbell in the slot
to the top. Yep.
Codrington changing the play up. The snap. Codrington will throw, rolls out to his left.
What is that?
Will throw across the field to Courage.
And Josh is there and misses, but he's down. He's down.
Will not get the first down.
Wow.
Stopped at the 31.
Wow. I hope they brought them white jerseys.
Let me just say that is one of the most dangerous plays I've ever seen. He's not even throwing it downfield. He's throwing it completely across the field at basically what was the line of scrimmage.
Which
but
is
give
very
credit
dangerous.
With an immediate pass
rush. The line
rush.
doesn't move. Yeah, the line doesn't move. Only one person moves.
An immediate pass rush. You got to block a little bit better than that, but I guess if you're Sterry Codrington, no harm, no foul.
Great job by Josh to give Courage the contact. Courage drops his mouthpiece, actually. Is that Josh or is that
That's
Sly?
Sly.
That's
Sly
Great
Washington.
job by Sly.
And it will
K-Wack
be
out in front for the block if he doesn't make that tackle.
4th and about 1. And I'll make it a little closer than 4th and 1. Pin set on the 28-yard line.
And if you're a defense, this is a tough job. You either have to stop Courage if
right.
he's back there, or you got to stop Sterry, which is back there.
Or stop Ashanti, who's probably going to get the ball on the slant, but, you know.
Nick Mays on the edge
What do
for
I
the
know?
Gators. 2 wide receivers set. Codrington snaps. Here comes the pressure.
Whoa,
Codrington
it's
in
not flag,
trouble.
buddy.
Codrington will hold it. He'll keep it. He will cut through. He will find a sideline. That is
That's
why
it.
he's an
That's
MVP
paint.
candidate. Touchdown,
paint.
Trenton.
And you talk about MVP candidates. Great run from Sterry Codrington. There's pressure on him. He breaks it down. The Gators thought that they were going to be able to get this pressure, but it doesn't matter when you can't bring the quarterback down.
Right.
But watch down the field.
The downfield
The
blocking,
Hollywood flashy wide receiver returner that's always looking to make a big play with the ball in his hands takes another grown man, picks him up, and pushes him out of the way. Watch this block from Ashanti Worthy as we get to the 3rd level. You know, Sterry Codrington doing Sterry Codrington things. And then once Ashanti knows that he's not going to catch it for a touchdown, he finds a guy to block.
He's running. He turns around to Skinner.
Amari Skinner,
Come
poor young man,
here.
is
Yeah.
constantly throwing it. And all he can
Yeah.
do is hope for a flag because there was no chance of him getting away from the block. Touchdown BIC in the red jerseys.
And a big thing there, breaking the curse of the red jerseys. We were talking about it in the break. And there you see K-Wack, Carnell Wachter making his way to the line.
And guys got to, you know, I've never been a fan of guys complaining about the call. You have to make a play. Just swipe his hands off. Do something. Do a football move.
Amari
Make the play.
Skinner's hands are always ready to blame someone, whether it's another player or the ref.
And Worthy will be the one behind center here. He will get,
Wow.
he'll stay upright, but he'll be brought down. And the extra points.
He got it
There's
back
Amari
in
Skinner.
blood. No, Amari Skinner. He got it back in blood.
And so for those wondering what that was, that's the extra point. We take the soccer out of it, and BIC was going for a football play from the 5 for that extra 1, and they don't get it. Gators hold after the touchdown, but that's 6-0. Trenton BIC in the red jerseys versus the Gators in the purple, and we'll be back after this break.
And we will be back after this break. The Trenton BIC with the lead. Will the Baltimore Gators find a way to get back on the scoreboard? They were stopped on the first drive. Will they be able to find a way to break through this Will the BIC be able to keep the hold on defense? BIC strike first. We'll find out if the Gators can strike second on Stadium. We are live here on Stadium from Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Rob Fabian and Corey Hamden. It will be number 10, Tony Roberts, taking the return here for the first time today for the Baltimore Gators. And they will catch this one inside the 20. An opportunity here. Oh! Bowling over a defender, but number 13, Laquan Johnson, making the stop, and it'll be 1st and 10.
There was no huss in his system. He wanted to kill that kid. That's
Cohen was a victim there.
And Cohen is there to stick. Like, he'll make the play. But, man, oh, my goodness, yeah.
And he made the tackle.
He made the tackle, but,
a little bit of an impact.
That was a heck of an impact.
As Ricky Robinson comes out at quarterback to see what the Gators can Let's see what the Gators can do on offense.
Hit him with the kablam on the tackle, Tony Roberts.
So with the quarterback not your main guy. It's going to be the other playmakers for the Gators. Is handoff.
Pushing upfield, solid run, driving, getting the first down and more, dragging 3 humans with them.
And that's Tony Roberts on the
How much
great
you think they
run
paid
there.
for that ride?
I don't know, with gas prices and inflation.
And the Gators swapping jerseys here. According to our official rosters, that's supposed to be Tony Roberts, but
I
it's
guess
not.
it's Vinny.
Well, Vinny, Tony, Gator, great run. 1st and 10.
And it will be Sly Washington behind center.
And they do have double tight set. Nick Mays is a big-time threat, as well as Aote, so...
Handoff stopped, and another run by Vinny, and they are pushing through the pile here. A solid gain of about 4, and it will be second down.
The big boys are moving the pile, and again, you know where I'm at. I'm looking right at the line of scrimmage. Those big fellas are moving the BIC D lineman out the way, and Vinny, correct? That's who that is?
Yes, it is.
Vinny is getting those crunch time yards. I'm looking for snags right now.
See if Sosa can come in. You see Matthews back on the sideline.
And with high purple socks like that, you know, with the bandana on number 25, that's Snag Sosa making his appearance.
Will be under center.
They go back with double tight.
And it'll be 2nd and 6. Snap, the handoff. Play action. In trouble. Throws this one deep downfield, and one will be thrown to John Cena, and it'll be 3rd down.
Very dangerous to throw a deep pass against BIC.
Flag on the play, though.
They have very speedy defensive backs.
You can't see him out there, but John Cena was wide open.
You can't see him.
And we'll see what the flag is. Holding on the defense, it'll be a 10-yard penalty. It looks like that one was attributed to number 26, J.J. Radcliffe.
Well, you can blame J.J. there, but the quick pressure from BIC's defensive line.
The evil twin Verardi, he definitely was in there, but he stayed poised in the pocket and still threw the ball. I just don't know to who, but he threw the ball.
John Cena, you can't see him. But it'll be 1st and 10, regardless.
And Roberts will be behind center. Last week he was 5 for 10, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. And here comes the pressure, the toss to Snag Sosa. Snag Sosa brought down on the wrong side of the tracks. Will go over the line, and he will be out of Atlantic County, and it will be 40 on the 49. It will be 2nd and a lot.
Looked like they had the called reverse there, but the defensive pressure got to the pitch so fast. It was a smarter play for Snags to lose the 6 than potentially lose the 13.
I'm not calling an outside play knowing that my offensive line or offensive player in general cannot block.
But look at the defensive pressure there. It's so
crazy.
quick. There's no chance for any play on the edge to work there.
Jaquise Worley with the tackle.
And one thing that BIC's defense has shown me this season is that sideline to sideline, every single position, even their bigger guys, they have so much speed.
Everybody should be north-south with BIC. You should not be going
especially with the defense, with the offensive line that the Gators are coming out with. As at the bottom of your screen, that bald head is the Super Saiyan, Antoine Matthews.
2nd and 19, and immediate pressure again by this BIC defense. Intercepted and bounds.
That's JJ.
JJ Radcliffe
got some speed.
looking to make a house call.
Oh, contact.
And stopped.
That's a crayon there, right there.
That's a heavy hit.
And an emphatic play. The lack of John Gauze Jr. really showing.
It's showing. I mean, I didn't want to say anything because I really feel like the Gators come in with a lot of confidence, thinking that they didn't need Ace or they don't need to do it with Ace. But John Goss makes a huge difference at the quarterback positions. So now I understand Sly's playing defense, but you might need his speed and elusiveness here on offense.
And you see J.J. Radcliffe just completely changing direction here. A beautiful catch and some great solid blocking from Dwan Williams and this BIC defense. And there you see Verardi and Alex Verardi and John Columbia, a.k.a. Psycho.
And a big hit from the Bear, well named out there, number 40, stopping the potential touchdown, but Sterry Codrickson's happy for that, for an opportunity for himself to pad his stats.
Shout out to Kenny Stansbury, a.k.a. Big Shug.
And Tyler Patricio, but wearing Big Shug and wearing Death Row jerseys.
Listen.
It's about to get 19.
Man.
It's about to be the 95 Source Awards up in here, and
Yeah,
it's going to get really
it's
uncomfortable.
looking bad. If you don't want your quarterback all in your videos, getting highlights, hussing, come to Death Row. It's looking like one of those right now.
And the BIC looking to make a statement here. As
And again,
it might be a challenge on the field from the Gators on possibly where the ball was caught, if it was caught in or out of bounds.
Now, there's two potential things that they can look at. Hopefully, Ricky Robinson, the quarterback, was stepped out of bounds before he threw it there, and they might be able to avoid the turnover. So the rare rooting for your quarterback's unathleticism to go in your favor, but I think the catch did look like it was clearly in bounds. So if they're going for a replay on that one, it looked like, and we'll see, what the refs say here as they look at the replay.
And you see,
and then Suge Knight, Kenny Stansbury wearing the shades as well.
Literally the shades.
We'll see the replay here again on the official review. Trying to get word on what the challenge is, but we'll see on the blitz here. Ferrari just
now it's a.
So trying to figure out if someone was out of bounds, try to see if Roberts threw this ball in bounds.
Check the foot close.
He's in a throwing motion. He's making a throwing motion and leaping up. So I would consider that to be inbounds. And I also
the catch was inbounds as well.
And as you watch the replay
from
there,
this angle,
it's
and it's got to be 100% that it has to be conclusive.
Right.
If it is inconclusive that happened, or any of these situations happened, the play on the field will stand. It's like a traditional football challenge, and the Gators will lose a timeout here in the first quarter, down 6-0. The challenge has been lost. There was no confirmation that either Roberts or Clavon Radcliffe, J.J. Radcliffe, the person who intercepted the ball, were out of bounds. It was inconclusive. The call on the field will stand. It'll be 1st and 10 for the BIC. And a really, really, really lucky break for the BIC there after trying to stop the Gators on defense. They some solid pressure, some huge tackles for loss, a loss of 9 yards on one tackle. And a big interception gets the BIC with the ball on the 46-yard line.
Well, the one thing a backup quarterback can't do is come in and play reckless and turn the ball over. And that's what you see from Ricky there. He bailed out of a pocket that looked pretty decent.
Is he a backup? Right now he's a starter. He doesn't look like a backup.
Looking for the false start. The handoff, 5 on the line. And Courage Mosey wanting all the smoke. Flag on the play.
All I know, Rob, is that Lenny Manziel is not walking off that sideline for the Gators right now.
But here, my question is, I keep asking this question to you guys every week we watch BIC. What is making the other team jump off sides if we're not allowed to have a hard count?
Well, it's the anticipation of trying to get that jump.
Every week from every team?
Because they know how fast Sterry is.
Ah, man, like something's up with that. I'm not getting that. And great play by Josh Butler right there. Josh wants a lot of smoke. He wants all the smoke.
DK.
He does not duck wreck at all.
And it will be 1st down. Correction.
Josh Butcher. I'm sorry.
Correction. It should be 2nd down. Waiting for the official call on what the flag was.
It's a surprisingly slow game for BIC. I'm not used to this pacing.
It was holding on the offense. 2nd down.
You see what's happening that's making these guys jump.
And it will be false start on Patricio.
Offense.
And that could either be the false start on the offensive lineman, or they're calling Sterry for a false count.
Yeah, something's going on that's not being checked, because BIC gets that play against every teams that have been in this league. So something's happening that's making these guys jump off sides.
And when they neutralize that, will that give the defensive line for the Cobras an advantage that they are looking for in this game?
Definitely Gators, but yes, it might give them. It might give them an advantage.
And the BIC giving up 70 penalty yards so far leading into today. And that's a big, big problem. 2nd and 16. spread out offense. Waiting for the opportunity for Codrington to show what he can do with his arm. Has been sticking to the run game so far today. Codrington pinballs off a defender. Codrington in trouble. Big block by Patricio. Another big block.
Oh, my goodness.
And now the
Off to the
BIC
races.
finding their way home.
Oh.
Reach
Great
out and touch
tackle.
someone. He'll be called out at the 3, but again, Sterry Codrington with his legs making something happen. It'll be first down off of back-to-back penalties.
There's a term in baseball, wins above replacement, and most of the quarterbacks in this league, when they're forced into a situation where Sterry is right here, it's either a turnover or a sack, but guess what? He changes the field, gets back, gets his guys to stay with the block. There's 3 or 4, and even if you don't catch them on the screen right there, there's a lot of hitting going down, and he's just able to explode, turn a play that would have been a negative, to be honest, if I was in there, and turns it into a 60-yard run for BIC, and that's really frustrating for the defense.
We get it, Corey. You're
BIC will
trash.
call a timeout.
I'm slow is the specific term.
Timeout BIC, and the first quarter is not even done, guys.
It's not.
BIC so far, 109 rushing yards.
And I don't think the ball has left Sterry's hand on a pass attempt yet.
No, I think Sterry's trying to really make his case for solo MVP, because I really think it's split between him and Worthy, and I give it more to Worthy. But he's
one of those games within the game situation where you can't throw it to your receiver because you want the MVP ring from Herb Jones. Champions has a ring to it.
Listen, he might be getting that.
I don't think BIC is that confident in beating the Gators that they're already looking at the stat line yet.
I don't think you've been watching at the same BIC I've been watching. They are that confident.
Right?
You know, you never know.
But hey.
But that's great blocking down the field. I loved. Listen,
and I can tell you
like
from like an active player watching a defense from the sideline, I can only imagine what the defense themselves feels like when you execute what you meant to do on defense, and you get a quarterback in a position where he's running for his life, and then that situation turns into a huge play for the offense.
It hurts. It hurts.
It hurts you deeper than the hits on those crackbacks.
Especially sitting on the sideline as the other offense.
There's a soul-snatching type of feeling that you get as a defensive back covering Ashanti Worthy down the field and stopping him from being wide open.
And this is very uncharacteristic. Like guys like Bone actually, getting penetration. Nick Mays gets penetration, cuts deep, gets blocked.
Bone about to make a play,
cracked. Like these guys are staying with the play. This is a very young team. You have to match their energy. But another block by AM to PM. Like it's going to be very hard to match this energy for 4 quarters straight. And BIC's ready to do it.
And it's just when you can't have someone consistent and stable at quarterback. And now Courage Mosey behind center with Ashanti Worthy set up to his left. Probably sparing Sterry Codrington after running 40 to 50 yards on a rip.
Or looking for contact because
he's looking straight
Courage
for
is looking for somebody.
Courage will keep it and
if I'm not mistaken, Bone makes the first contact. Yeah, Bone has to make a statement. I haven't seen or heard from Bone in about 2 seasons where he was consistently a monster. But him against Courage, I'm taking Bone 4 out of 5 times.
And it will be 2nd and goal, and Codrington will come back in after Mosey kept it. See Stansberry, Patricio on the line, and that right there, that amount of humanity is good enough to create any space. We saw it in those 2 big blocks on Codrington's last run.
Right.
Well, so far, guys, the defensive line for the Gators is doing what they said that they were going to do coming to this game. We talked about the Twitter Spaces on Friday night. They were confident in their defensive line be able to get through the offensive line for BIC and cause pressure because they've done it against everybody all year. But the fact is when they get past the offensive line, they're not bringing down the ball carrier who is faster than them.
Worthy gets handed the ball. Jet sweep and met.
Sly is a very dangerous player. Sly is a very underrated, dangerous player.
The whistle was called, so that will not be a turnover, but it will be 3rd down and goal.
And are the Gators given the blueprint to slow down? I will never say stop because this is a very high-powered offense, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the highest-scoring offense in any team in the A7FL this season.
It is 363 points over 7 games.
Right. So let's just be clear. I'm not saying stop. I'm saying, are the Gators showing you a blueprint to slow this offense down?
And heading into today, they only gave up 1 more point than the Patterson U, which was the stingiest Final Four defense, and a huge stop there.
And if the Gators are going to win this game, if the Gators are going to actually find a way to beat this BIC team, it's going to start with their defense making stops like right now, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal. If they stop this BIC team inside the 5-yard line, it's going to give them their best chance because their offense is not going to be able to keep up with BIC if BIC goes into a rout.
I'm just going to be honest with you. The game is all on Sly. Sly's performance today will determine if they win or lose.
The throw from Codrington out of reach for Worthy, and it will be 4th down. And
wow,
that was a big stop there by.
Well, one of the equalizers in this league is when you shorten a field, the difference in the speed that BIC brings to the table is kind of neutralized. So Ashanti Worthy's going to be wide open on 9 out of the 10 routes he runs, but usually because he's got 40 or 50 yards to run. When he's only
holding on the offense, the penalty will be declined, so it will be 4th and goal from the 5.
And that kind of goes to show you right there. The Gators had the opportunity to back up BIC, give them more space, which is more space for their defense to cover, or have the one play from the 5-yard line, and they elect the one play from the 5-yard line because it's easier to cover the shorter field against the speed of BIC potentially. And we'll see. It's an interesting 4th and goal. They have to get pressure, but what they can't allow is for Steri to get a running lane and run this in.
So right in, yeah.
Abby Mansoray and Carnell Wachter join the line. Mansoray will be an eligible receiver. Under a minute now left to play in the first. Codrington will hold on. He'll throw. Courage Mosey, touchdown. Trenton making it 12-0. And the former A7FL MVP getting one from a potential future A7FL MVP. And just running the entire Gator sideline.
He slams it on, oh my goodness.
On midfield.
Oh my goodness, he slams
Which
it midfield.
Which isn't a Gator, it's a Bishop. But anyway,
that's a statement.
The play action, they completely leave him.
Statement.
And he's wide open as he breaks the line of scrimmage.
And I'm talking TO level celebration here. Runs all the way back to the logo.
He's still standing there talking about something.
Slams it with a Gator chomp.
And they will go for 1 here.
And everyone in the chat knows the deal. If your team just scored, BIC just scored, throw up that fist. When the Gators score, you throw up that Gator.
BIC will go for 1, 0 for 1 on the conversion so far today. And we also will see Kason Campbell in this game today. We've seen a lot of, the one thing we haven't seen is the variety of athletes on this BIC team yet. We have not seen Trey Cohen as of yet. The snap, in trouble, the toss, and that one's over to Jalen Crooms.
Looks forward.
Caught off the hands, and that one will bounce out, and that one's intended for Devon Blucher.
No, that was Trey Cohen.
Oh,
it was intended for Trey Cohen.
Intended for Cohen, number 15. And it will be 12-0 with 52 seconds left to play in the first quarter. On the other side of the break, the Gators will get the ball for the second time, and will they be able to make something happen? Will they matriculate the ball downfield, or is this a coronation for the BIC? Who's going to prove that they bring it on Sunday? We'll see on the side of this one. The Trenton BIC with the lead. 52 seconds left to go in just the first quarter. Over 100 yards rushing so far in this quarter for the BIC, the undefeated team who are looking to face the Patterson U for the 3rd straight time this season. In try to get their third straight win, but they still have to deal with the Baltimore Gators, who are looking to chomp their way back into this one on the 3-on-1 throw-off. And this one will be tossed up by number 2.
It's Dwan.
That's Dwan Williams. And here comes an opportunity for number 9. That's David Dinkins. David Dinkins not being able to be the mayor.
And the problem is they never know who that gentleman is right there, Quan with the garbage gloves. Quan's motor is very high, and he only comes in now on kickoff. So I promise you, if you get him off you the first time, you better keep running because he's not going to stop.
And it will be 1st and 10 here.
And let's see who they're going to give they're giving it right back to Ricky.
He has experience in this league, and like I said, the playmakers for the Gators are more important than whoever's playing the quarterback. Now, I know that you're probably angling more for the Sly angle.
You know where I'm going.
But Sly's being asked to play defense. He's going to be asked to make plays as well.
And Sly is
as a
an
wide receiver.
MVP caliber player who, if we're asking him to do these things, he should be able to do them. I'm going to be honest.
But how long can you deal with all of that? Like how
2 quarters, 3 quarters?
If you're going to beat a team like BIC, you're going to have some kind of special performance. Aote with a lot of meat out there at the top of your screen, the wide receiver.
Robinson tosses it. That one, a hard, solid run, but that will go out of play and a flag.
Tay misses every block possible. I thought it was going to be a pass. Verardi talking that talk. Evil twin.
I'm not sure what the flag here is.
A cherubic nightmare is Alex Verardi.
Cherubic. It was very cherubic.
And there was the toss for number 9, Dinkins. He just
definitely holding.
Oh, no. Hands to the face as well. Maybe.
Oh, regardless, Verardi's there. And
always there. Verardi's always there.
One of the things you're not going to be able to do consistently against this BIC defense, especially when they have Psycho, or who I call him Master Chief, Columbia in the X jersey, or Verardi number 50, is those 2 defensive ends. They rush with integrity, a motor, strength, and speed. So it's really those 2 rookie defensive ends have really shut down.
They completely changed BIC's defensive profile. I promise you that.
And one of the things that we've seen work against BIC is on-time throws to receivers downfield when you negate the rush from BIC by throwing it on time on those 3 steps and quick 5 steps.
And that's hard to do.
And it's
with
hard
those
to
corners and defensive backs.
But it's even harder to do when your quarterback. What we saw in the interception is Ricky's running out of the pocket immediately from the start. That's a level of uncomfortability.
Speaking from a quarterback position,
and when you're uncomfortable, you're not going to be able to find those timing routes, which can be open against BIC, but
it's hard to find if you got 2 guys in your face before.
As all of the offensives have faced before them, because they're undefeated. It's been a tough task against this really, really dominant so far BIC defense.
And after the flag, it will be a personal foul, hands to the face, so it will be a loss. It will be 1st and 15. And that will end the first quarter. And that'll be the end of the first quarter, the runoff there after the penalty. And at the end of 1 quarter, it is the Baltimore Gators down 12-0, and the Trenton BIC 45 minutes away from their 2nd straight A7FL championship, but a lot of game left to go. And gentlemen, the question on the other side of this break will be whether or not Ricardo Robinson can lead this team to victory. Will Robinson be able to step up and pull the Brady to we'll find out on the other side of this one. We know one of the teams that will be live here on Asbury Park Stadium and on Stadium. On July 10th at 4 p.m., the Patterson U punched their ticket to the A7FL championship game. But will the Trenton BIC or the Baltimore Gators be the one to stand across the field from them? We're going to find out in this one, but be sure to join us live July 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern right here on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. It's the start of the second quarter. The Baltimore Gators with the ball, facing a second down after the penalty. And after not able to really matriculate the ball downfield, they've been stopped and stifled by this BIC defense. And gentlemen, it's getting harder and harder. You see Antoine Matthews on the field for the Gators to really create any openings on offense.
Because if you want to fly, put in Sly. I'm going to say it again. Not a fan of Ricky.
And it'll be 2nd and 12. And short play, short run, and that one brought in by Slick, number 9. Moving the ball downfield, and it will be third down. Yellow hankies are out today. Offsides on the defense, and a gimme penalty there for the BIC. Another on the line, offensive or defensive over-eagerness from this team. And I'm excited to say that all three of us will be calling the A7FL championship on July 10th.
I'll be there.
Excited to bring you the action on that day. Me and Corey calling our third A7FL championship together.
And this will be my first because I was at the
You
last.
played
Don't rub
last
it
year.
in. Don't rub it in.
Played and won, sir.
2nd and 7. Ayote in motion. The snap, the flag, and
He's
Robinson.
hit. He got hit.
When we look at the replay here, it would be wise for the Gators to maybe block Verardi.
And Verardi getting called.
How? You see, he would have cracked Verardi.
Master Chief right there, mission critical, goes right for the quarterback.
Right, and it's the over-aggressive play that's going to actually end up biting BIC in the butt in the long run.
Well,
But
you got to block somebody. That's not a penalty.
That's not a penalty.
No,
I'm not calling
the
that.
flag
Okay, whatever that was.
He was trying to get off of
Yeah,
him.
whatever that was.
Well, watch what it is. If he goes to bring him down, and then just the extracurriculars, I think,
there was
is going
a
to be
flag before that, too. The flag went up before he made the hit.
Well, the refs are agreeing with us. It's unfair to have those two guys coming off the edge at your quarterback.
No, man, you got to listen.
Master Chief is still upset.
On the defense, but offsetting penalties, a penalty on the offense as well.
What was that?
Might have been illegal man downfield.
There we go. That's what that first flag was.
So Verardi really needs to stop.
Well, that's
jawing.
psycho. That was psycho.
Pardon me. Sorry, Columbia shouldn't be jaw-jacking there. After that,
he's one of those types of players. He gaps a lot. He's high energy. The flag's already out, and then that,
That's good football.
And I hope they're not saying Tay was the illegal man downfield. He's the one he was playing receiver.
Well, they also could be calling the illegal motion because when he came in motion for the crack, maybe. So, with penalties offsetting, we replayed it down. No harm, no foul.
Right.
And we'll keep it moving here. 2nd and 7.
Pretty soon, we're going to have to get the Super Saiyan involved in some way, shape, or form.
You're not going to like this take about the Super Saiyan. He's good for one play, he transforms, and he disappears.
So he's a Bobby.
So you're saying that Baltimore needs to invest in Senzu beans?
Yeah, they might give him a Senzu bean or something. Super Saiyan goes in, he makes one amazing catch, and he literally disappears for the rest of the game.
So what you're really saying is he's not a Saiyan at all, and he's Krillin.
Don't do it. He got the ball. Or he's Nappa. I don't know. He got the ball head Nappa.
That's even deeper, Nappa. Wow.
Because I think Super Saiyan can make a lot of plays if he's in, but I just don't see them utilize him after the one play he's in. He gets a catch, and then he's back on the sideline.
It'll be 2nd and 7. BIC with the 12-0 lead. Baltimore looking to get back in this one and get on the board. Still a lot of time left, not only in the half, but
whether
in this
it's
game.
Matthews, Sosa, Ayote, Nick Mays, someone on this Gators offense has to make a play for their quarterback.
I'm looking at Snags. Snags is that guy. Nick Mays is Snags right now.
Snap. In trouble. Throws.
Snag Sosa.
Snag Sosa.
I asked for him. He delivered.
And that's the slant that's uncoverable in the A7FL. And when you throw the ball on time, regardless of who's rushing you, as you saw Verardi come in there completely unblocked, Ricky Robinson throws perfect spiral to snag Sosa. And that's just a perfectly placed ball.
Beautiful.
JJ can't do anything about it, even though it's not too bad coverage. First down, and if the Gators can get plays like that, they can set up some.
They got to get him on both sides.
And it will be 1st and 10 for the Gators. And right there, those short passes, it might make or break the Gators' offense because they haven't been able to get the ball downfield on huge throws.
If that's Ricky's game, he needs to stick to it.
Well, the only way to neutralize a defensive pass rush that comes in that quickly is to throw quick passes. And that's what they do there with the slant. And it's 1st and 10.
Matthews at the top of your screen, snags Sosa at the bottom. Here comes the pressure.
The twin.
Intercepted!
He throws. Who's that? Who's that? Mook? Is that Mook?
And that, I believe that was Taheem Duran, Big Mook.
That's Big Mook.
Another major play on the defensive end.
Big Mook's playoff run has been nothing short of amazing.
He's one of the league leaders in interceptions in the playoffs, and he plays defensive line. And if you're a quarterback and you're coming in and you're trying to do your best, you cannot turn the ball over. Turnovers are huge.
Oh, my God.
As well as bad words.
Wow.
The Gator claps to send them back to their sideline. It's, oof.
It is.
Now, this is a great
evil twin.
This is a great play by a defensive player because he's just looking to check the ball down to his tight end, and you're not assuming that a defensive lineman's going to dive and make a catch like that. Right. But Ricky has to make a better decision, get the ball out of his hands, or at least a little bit further outside.
But with the
pressure coming in that fast, you got to get rid of the ball.
With the pressure coming in that fast, step in the pocket.
And last week, Duran with 5 tackles and 1 sack. Columbia and Verardi with 6 sacks, 6 tackles, 2 sacks. 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss for Columbia. And
that was against a run team in the force.
Right.
Yeah.
But, Corey, can you tell me why? Because this is something I hated as a lineman. Why not step in the pocket if you're outside to getting cooked? The stepping up in the pocket actually gives me an easier block as the left tackle or right tackle on the far side.
You're 100% right, and we saw Lenny Manziel in the previous game that when you step up into the pocket, you give that extra half second. But if you look at the replay there have 3 blockers and 4 rushers, so that one free man is basically beeline to the quarterback. You can't step up because that middle of the pocket isn't there.
The step up is safer than what he just did.
Well, what he just did was turn the ball over.
Yeah,
so anything but that, right? Anything but that. 1st and 10 for BIC in these death row uniforms.
Kason Campbell at the bottom of your screen, Ashante Worthy at the top. And Carnell Wachter and Courage Mosley are tight ends, eligible receivers on the line.
Yeah,
Hollywood
there's
emotion.
A lot going on that
And DK
line.
Butcher, who said he was going to cover Ashanti Worthy all game, is already covering Kason Campbell.
For another false start penalty on the BIC.
What is going on? There's a miscommunication, man, when it comes to that
Yardage-wise, the Gators' best play, offense and defense, has been when the refs get involved.
Yikes.
So that's one way to do it.
It'll be 1st and 15 with 11:41 left to play in the first half. At halftime, we'll break down how we got here, and we'll set up for next week's championship game. Up 2 weeks from now, pardon me.
Now, as great as BIC sits here in position, their goal is not to make the championship as they did last year and lose to the U again. Yeah. So not only do they have to beat this Gator team, but they have to get their offense on track so that they're ready to play a Patterson U team that is exactly where they wanted to be with with a chance at a three-peat.
And it's 4 on the line. Worthy in motion again. Hopefully not another false start call. The snap, no flag.
Spoke too soon.
Codrington in trouble and brought down.
Nick Mays. Wow. He's making noise, and that's a big sack. That's not a normal thing for Codrington to get touched like that, and the line kind of just busted wide open for him.
The flag from the weird movement pre-snap, we're not sure if it's on.
I don't know what's going
on. The movement backwards from Ashanti Worthy in that bubble type of maneuver is technically legal. What's not legal is what the defensive line for the Gators did, so we'll see what the call is. But great play from Nick Mays to make the sack, but he might have moved a little early, which is what got him the opportunity to get through.
Either that or the refs are done with whatever it is that's making them move early like that.
It looks like it's 1st and 15.
Again, so that it's almost as if they reset.
Penalties.
Something's off.
And in a conversation about their favorite bands that played the Stone Pony here in Asbury Park, with 10:55 left to play, trying to figure out what's the best course of action here. The very litigious Baltimore sideline getting involved.
Litigious.
It'll be 1st and 15. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. These two teams battling again for the second time in back-to-back years with a spot in the championship on the line. And we saw these two teams play in the regular season. The Gators got here with a 26-12 win over the East Orange Renegades 2 weeks ago. Trenton BIC won 69-19. And we're going to take a look at what's going on here in the booth. I'm Matt. That's Rob and Corey. Matt, Rob, Corey, Rob. There we go. And we're calling the action for you here on Stadium. Guys, so far we've seen a lot of frenetic energy from this BIC offense and defense, especially up front on the line.
Right.
At what point does a Courage Mosey come in and just try to settle down this offense, just try to, like, talk to these guys? They have this momentum, this energy. They're ready to go out there. They're ready to play. But how do you just create a calm over your teammates?
I don't think Courage is going to be the one to do that until it's fourth quarter and it's looking like someone's down or anything like that. I think right now he's still letting those boys play, letting them control the team, because this is their team. Courage takes the reins. It's his team again. He doesn't want that. We want these guys to take over. That's the only way you're going to beat a team like the U in 2 weeks. So Courage is going to let those guys do what they have to do until he really feels like he has to pull the reins. And right now, they're fine. They're fine. They'll get it together.
And it's more of a testament to how great of a defensive line that the Gators have, that they're consistently getting pressure on Sterry Codrington.
Right.
When BIC has lined up and just straight run with Courage, the Gators have stopped that attempt. It's the asking to do too much, because you have to guard Courage run, then you have to guard Sterry Codrington potentially running. And what's been most effective for BIC so far is when the Gators are rushing the passer, covering downfield, and then it breaks down when Sterry's able to get those open running lanes. That's really been the difference in the game so far. So even though the score is 12-0, and right now the Gators offensively are still looking for any answer whatsoever against this BIC defense, let's give credit to the Gators defense. They're keeping them in the game, and they're one of the first in a while teams to make this BIC offense look relatively human.
Right.
And we see this BICD offense looking to make another add another sixer on the board.
And now I would be nervous if I'm BIC, because the more this game goes on and they're not able to run that spread offense where they're sending out 3 wide receivers and just finding guys wide open, if they're not able to do that in this game, that means a lot, even if they win, going up against a team like the U, which has pretty much found their stride at the right time.
Right now, right, yeah.
Worthy will be at the top of your screen. Campbell at the bottom. In motion is Worthy again on 1st and 15. The snap. Codrington with time will throw this one downfield, and that one will be thrown out of bounds, and it will be 2nd down.
Campbell with that crossing route, and he has an open spot, but Sterry just misses him. That is where the Gators want to see Sterry, is forced to throw, steps into the throw, and misses. Now, that's not something that we've seen often this year, but if that's consistently what they get from Sterry Codrington, the Gators defense at least, that's exactly what they want, so to bring up 2nd and 15.
I know not too many people are going to like my take. It's kind of showing you if the game is left just on Sterry's back. It's not that they're not winning, but Sterry on his own, I don't think can wrap this game
Yeah,
up.
but he already has 90 yards rushing in
Over
the first
100.
half.
Over 100.
Excuse me.
Right,
Excuse me.
and that's what I'm saying. They're definitely winning.
If you're the Patterson U, how excited are you looking at this team?
Oh, they're licking their chops right now.
It'll be 2nd and 15.
Oh,
Codrington will take it again. He will go downfield, and he will be taken out of play around the 38-yard line.
And that's that called run play. One of the reasons this BIC offense is so effective is they can line up in a pass formation,
for a run
and
play.
then they call the run play. Sterry does basically turn it into a draw, but if you watch the offensive line, they're attacking downfield, getting to the 2nd level, and he's just so fast that the guys that they let through the line have no effect in the outcome of the play. So that's an easy 25 yards. Yeah, it walked untouched in and had no chance to affect the play. Great play call, but as we progress in this game, BIC is having trouble in the air against the Gators, and the Gators are one of the best defenses that they'll face, not only in the playoffs, but entirely this year.
Well, if you remember when we talked with DK Butcher on Twitter Spaces on Friday night, he said they had at least 3 shutdown corners, and so far we haven't seen a lot from the air.
I think it's too early to say that. I just think Sterry's not doing it in the air right now. I think he's.
And a run by Courage Mosey there on 3rd down.
I just don't think that's in his game plan today. But I'm not going to – I will never in my life, because I think Ashante Worthy is the true MVP, I will never say he's shut down or he's – but he looks iced out right now. He looks like he's not in right now.
A ball hasn't been thrown his way. So
Right.
whether he's open or not, we haven't necessarily seen.
And I think that might be by design of the Gators.
But right now for BIC on 3rd down, this is a great opportunity to maybe get on track with that pass game.
It'll be
Or
4th and
down,
4.
excuse me.
4th and 4.
Under
wow.
8 minutes left to go. Not exactly how we expected the BIC to respond here in this one. 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen. That's Campbell and Worthy. Tried to
He
goad
jumped,
something
he
off
jumped.
the line.
Something's, I'm telling you, it's gonna. And I think that's throwing BIC off. Something's happening where the offensive line is jumping. This is like the 4th time he's jumped.
And to clarify for those at home as we wait for the call here.
It looks like it'll be on Baltimore. Trying to see. Oh, nope, it'll be on the BIC.
To clarify those at home,
4th and 9.
without a center-quarterback exchange, normally in football you see the quarterback, he goes underneath the center snaps it. Because we take that out, the quarterback's only allowed to say audibles and
Right.
then say set, go. What Sterry does is he says that set very early and really, really, really waits. And that's what the ref is telling him, that he's not
can't
allowed
do that.
He's not allowed to influence the defensive line, and that's
he's been
why there was a
doing
penalty.
that all season. And I think he's finally caught now.
It'll be 4th and 9.
Well, he's really turning into the Peyton Manning. He's using even the cadence, guys. little bit smaller of a forehead, but 4th and 9.
Snap.
Oh.
Look at the battle on the line.
Yeah,
Codrington
courage.
with the little help from the
Oh,
blocker.
yikes!
Sterry Codrington.
Yikes!
He will not get the first
But
down.
my goodness. Okay, Nick Mays is
Mays
here.
not
And here's the
allowing
thing.
that.
The game can change if there's a quarterback at the quarterback position. This has been the story of the entire season of this league.
This is Rob chanting Sly.
Put Sly, just put Sly in.
And based on the personnel, I don't think he's in. But the Gators defense is standing tall, and as many times as Sterry Codrington can get out of these messes, it just shows the tenacity of the Gators defensive
Right.
line. You get a
Great
one-man
pressure,
miss
great
there,
pressure.
but they don't stop.
Look at Sly
so
with
then
the
he's
spy.
looking down the field, looking for somebody to throw the ball to. And
Unhand me, sir.
And even as they miss 3 tackles on 4th down, they're
They
still
come
able
down and
to
grab
make
him.
the play. And that's going to be the difference in this game on this side of the ball, is if the Gators defensive line continue to put fresh pressure on Sterry Codrington,
But
he
they
might
have-
be forced into that
But
uncomfortable.
They have to answer.
They have to score.
They have to
on
score.
the offensive side of the ball as well.
Robinson, the handoff. That
Okay,
is
Snacks.
Snacks Sosa.
Wow,
Snacks Sosa.
Okay, we seen a little bit of lightning in a bottle from Snack. This is what I'm used to with Snags. Quick, bouncy steps, explosive, and Snags is one of those guys.
And finding red jerseys to purposely elbow on his way back to the huddle. At 135 pounds,
You
ladies and
gotta
gentlemen,
love
you
it.
will not see more fight in a human
I was
being.
not a believer in Snags as a running back before until I watched him play live, and this is what he's worth. Every step is explosive. He runs like he's 250.
And you know what? The offensive line
unhand
going
me.
downhill against this defense for the BIC, that's their best opportunity.
And again on 1st down.
And I think they're making. Oh wow, what am I looking at?
Ken Stansbury getting pulled up.
Yeah, why is he on the floor like that? But I think they're making an adjustment. I mean, if I was them, I think it's smart. Get Bone on Verardi, get Nick Mays on Psycho. I think that's smart.
And get horizontal. Get
Right.
vertical. Stop going side to side because
Right.
speed is going to be won by the BIC defense, especially on the defensive line.
Always. But if you're going north-south,
hey man, you're wearing Barney uniforms. Get big.
right? They got
Barney
the skills and
was a
everything.
dinosaur from our imagination, and he's going to push the pile forward. Let's go.
I can't stand it.
2nd and 7. Antoine Matthews, play action. There's the handoff to
Snags.
Snacks Sosa again.
Oh, big Kenny Stansbury with
Stop.
the landing. But as you can see, the offensive lineman is pointing,
The flag on the
saying,
play.
go up the middle, north-south. Let's stop bouncing it out.
Yeah, they
north-south.
tackle Snags by one of the most dangerous parts of his body, his mouth, and it
There's
looks like they're going to
pause
get
in there
15 years.
somewhere. I'm going to find
There's
it.
the flag
That's not
on the
ball.
BIC.
Tackle him by his mouth is crazy.
Hands to the face, personal foul. And it will be the BIC in trouble again.
I'm
with
not
the
going to lie to
penalties.
you.
That
If
15 yards is the most effective offensive output for the Gators so far.
But if I'm being honest, if BIC continues to let these flags pile up and
as many
the
yards,
Gators figure out something on offense, BIC might be in trouble. This is ridiculous.
And as many yards as Sterry Codrington has rushing, it feels like they've allowed in penalty yardage against them on both sides of the ball.
That. You know how many
this
laps
is the
we would've
Final
ran?
Four of the A7FL, and we talked about it in the last game. Just because week whatever there was a score and this is what happened, everything's
nothing.
thrown out the window.
1st and 10, and there will be a flag on the
Who's on
play
Verardi?
again.
They put Bone in motion. That's
On Verardi.
And that's something that Verardi is going to have to get used to because he is a rookie in this league. I don't know if he's seen all the highlights that Bone has put out there.
I don't know. I don't think Verardi cares, but that is
Offsides on the defense.
BIC. What is going on? You're going to walk them into the end zone. Let's stay disciplined, fellas.
And
You know how many laps I would have had to do in high school for this?
57.
Every penalty yard we would have to probably run.
Ugh.
My goodness.
No, not a fan of that. And it will be 1st and 5. After
The
flag.
refs are the leading yardage getters for the Gators so far.
They
as
got
they make their-
yards after the penalty.
For real.
And it was interesting because there was in the YouTube chat, someone was saying, or a Facebook post, someone was saying that the refs were involved in the last game at 1 o'clock, and they were saying that the refs were against Baltimore. Well, you can't say that here.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with that.
I don't necessarily agree with it
It's
either,
either
but you
that or an
absolutely
absurd
cannot say that
overcorrection.
here.
And we'll see.
1st and 5, which is a great place to be in.
Right.
And Robinson being set back.
Matthews
by
at the
Snag
top of your
Sosa.
screen.
The snap, and there's the
There it
handoff to
is.
Snag
Bouncy.
Sosa, and he will
he's
not
here to
get
challenge
the first.
everyone. He's here to challenge everyone. Snags doesn't care about who's your favorite defensive lineman, any of that. Snags is running at everyone full speed.
He
And
is
he's the
looking
type
to
of guy
turn.
that when he's not making an impact on the offensive side, he'll go to defensive
And
end
make
and
that
make a
play,
sack.
right.
So he's just a consummate football player, and right there on 1st and 5, gets the 3 yards to keep it 2nd and 2.
He's looking to turn your favorite defensive lineman into your favorite retiree, and it'll be 2nd and 2. Under 4 minutes to play, 3:51 and counting in the first half.
And he's actually in pretty good shape. The reason he needs a breath there is because the amount of trash he's talking in between each play.
And again, if I'm the Gators, I'm taking Bone, Verardi, Nick Mays, Psycho, freeze those guys out.
Well, let's be
North,
clear. You
south.
already, if you were the Gators, would have put Sly in at quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
And it will be 2nd and 2. The snap.
Bones
in trouble.
open.
In trouble. Here comes Ferrari.
Okay,
Here comes
two.
Psycho, but keep it in.
Oh, Ricky.
It's Ricky Robinson.
Ricky, I see you, Ricky. He had Verardi and Psycho looking nuts out there. I said looking, by the way.
And it will be 1st and 10.
And you see here, this is a little bit of an over pursuit from Verardi.
What is that off?
Underestimates the speed of the
That's
quarterback
it.
that he's
Yeah, look,
facing.
he points at him.
And just bouncing it there. Just a
And
solid
it's a smart
run.
move. Get out of
Great
bounds right
move,
there.
Yeah,
Good
Rick-
business decision.
Hey, Ricky, I see the hips.
And
I
that's
see
why.
the
That's why he's like,
elusiveness.
he goes right to Mook and he's like, "Yep,
Yep.
I knew what time it was."
Yeah, I see the elusiveness in Ricky.
There's 3 digits on your jersey, buddy.
It is. Yes, it is get the bleep out of here o'clock.
Yeah, Ricky has to make me a believer.
But it's
until
1st
then.
and 10.
Yeah,
And Aote Willis will be an eligible receiver. He sets up at the line.
they show Aote so much love at that tight end. With all that belly, I
Well,
wish they showed me that.
more
much love.
importantly, Bone is lined up against JJ out on the route. Well, he's been coming on that
Right,
crackback
there
block.
it is.
And
There it is.
there's a
Great block.
big run.
And there it is. JJ.
What a run.
That's your fault, JJ. And again,
boy.
And
if
that's
you go ahead,
Vinny Euro with the with the rush.
icing out Verardi is the key to stopping BIC's defense. Playing tough and icing out Verardi. I'm not saying Psycho's not a dominant player, but check it out. Bone comes on the motion to then meet Verardi at the line, opens it up, one-on-one with JJ, and Vinny just walks through him. He's still walking, and Bone doesn't even maintain the block. If Bone maintains the block, that's 6. That's 6.
Well, as questionable as the decision was to make the tackle there from JJ, he was almost looking to have somebody come in and save him. He does hold on to the tackle and makes the block.
Holding on to the literal word of the day there.
Yeah.
We're going to take a brief timeout here. It's the 2-minute warning. And with 2 minutes left to go, the Baltimore Gators are looking to put a crooked number on the board. Will they be able to do it? We'll find out on the other side of this one. It's 12-0. A7FL Final Four on Stadium. We're back here live on Stadium. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. The Gators with the ball, and if you want to bring this level of ball to your hometown, whether you're in Austin, Dallas, Columbus, Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans, wherever you are, you want to bring this level of action to your front door, go to a7fl.com/owners. There's nothing better than being a part of the A7FL. The future of football is here, and we want you to be a part of it. Bring it to your hometown now at a7fl.com/owners. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. Winner of this one goes on to play to Patterson U in 2 weeks on July 10th right here on Stadium to become the A7FL champion. Right now, an opportunity for Robertson to get them inside the end zone. Snags Sosa!
Let's go, Snags. Let's go. He slams it. He dunks it like no. Don't do it. Is he doing it? No, he's not doing it.
He's not going to do.
All right, good. Calm down, Snags.
He
Calm
literally
down.
slips, slides,
Calm
and
down,
takes it to the
Snags.
house. Touchdown, Baltimore.
And again, this is dangerous for BIC only because you're giving these guys momentum. You're getting tons of penalties on defense. It's sloppy. Wow.
And you see the defender
walks
slip
right
to
in.
the wrong
Yeah,
side.
Dwan is what most would think of as the linebacker there. Goes for the initial move to the left, gets lost in the shuffle of things, and Snags is able to keep his feet, finds the hole and the end zone.
And these guys look like they've been watching film because anybody who has watched film has realized BIC's defense is weak against inside runs. As long as you move those big bodies, they are weak.
Absolutely weaker than they are on the edge.
Yeah.
And as we get the extra point from the 1 yard line, it'll be
5-yard line.
Excuse me, the 1 point.
Caught. No, knocked away. Ricky Tate with the stop.
Ricky Tate is one of my favorite new players this year. I'm not going to lie to you.
And who plays 25-8.
I'm not going to lie to you. Ricky Tate is one of my new favorite players this year.
Certainly showing up and showing out. We've seen some great performances from him so far this season, both in the games of the week and in the playoffs. But right now, guys, with 1:55 left to go, the BIC will get the ball.
It's time right now for the Gators. Because as great
Look
and
at the
as
bounce.
much momentum as they
Explosive.
got, and great job from Snags Sosa to find the end zone. Great job from the offensive line, which I'm going to give credit to the offensive line for the Gators on that one, because Ricky made a couple plays there. Snags made a couple plays there. The running backs are eating up holes, but it's the offensive line that really created that 6 points for the Gators. But right now, you're in a really tough position because with this 3-on-1 throwing to Ashanti Worthy, all of that momentum that you just got,
It could be taken away in one shot. It can be.
and this is where BIC really puts teams in a really
It's
almost
facts.
impossible position, because
Yeah.
the rule is it has to stay in bounds, it has to go to your returner, and the only person in this league that kind of neutralizes Ashanti
It's
Worthy
Huff.
is Huff when he throws it out of bounds. So you see Aote out there, you see Sly, you see DK Butcher, but
DK and Sly are fast.
there's a
Very
reason
fast.
that Ashanti Worthy is named Hollywood, and there's a reason that he skips up to the 3-on-1 coverage team, is because he's looking to make a highlight play. And guys,
might
I have a
find this
feeling
out. Yeah, this is looking scary.
that
because
keep
his
your
name
eyes on the
hasn't been
screen
called.
right now, because once that ball leaves this man's hands,
Lock
it's showtime.
in.
Look. Look at this technique.
This is not technique.
This is my favorite technique. Look at this. Look.
Pop flies this one, and this one will go and bounce. It's a live ball. It's inside the 25. Worthy chasing it, gets it, and will be brought down.
Where's the ball?
Loose.
Oh my
Gators
God!
get the ball.
Oh,
Gators get the
my
ball.
God! You got to be kidding kidding me?
And I was absolutely wrong and why, but I told
But
you,
it happens.
keep your eyes on the...
They're icing out Worthy.
He
Worthy's
misjudged the
getting
play.
iced out.
And I will personally apologize for the criticism of the critique there, Ayote.
Wow.
What do I know?
Look at that technique. He throws it like a...
And the confidence that Ashanti Worthy has that he's going to be able to get the ball is his
And
biggest
then he loses
threat
the
right
ball.
here. And of
Wow.
course, it's DK Butcher who said he had him all game, makes the play, makes good on his
Wow.
word. And right now, the Gators are in position to
crazy.
tie this ball game. And coming into this game, even though
Look at these guys. Look at these guys.
And now we are in litigation once again.
What is it?
I mean, it was relatively clear there that the ball was not out of bounds. The ball didn't stop because
don't do that.
Ashanti Worthy never even had possession.
He grabbed it
that
one
is
time.
Gators' ball.
He grabbed it one time to keep it in bounds and dropped it as soon as he grabbed it.
And who's there talking? Is that Chris Hunter? Chris Hunter's doing his job for BIC right now, which is only to speak.
Let's take a look.
It doesn't go out of bounds.
It doesn't go out of bounds. He touches it. It never goes out of bounds.
And he doesn't have possession is
then
the most
important thing.
Then
he picks it up, drops it immediately off of. He gets knocked. Listen,
is his foot out of bounds there when he picks it up and spins? I'm not sure.
No, it's not. It's not.
Look at
don't do that
but
because
it looks like Baltimore ball.
When these Baltimore guys come up and say that they're getting cheated, they'll show you this play and that'll be it. Don't give it. They can't. BIC can't have the ball. No.
No.
He's not out of bounds there.
Not at all. No.
No, yeah, that's Baltimore ball.
Baltimore ball. Baltimore ball. No way. No way.
If there was a blueprint to beating BIC this season,
icing out Ashanti Worthy is it.
I guess it's wearing purple jerseys.
Stop.
And showing up and doing exactly so far what the Gators defense and special teams has been doing, because we'll call it the 3-on-1 special teams. Their offense has been bailed out by a couple of pretty good penalties and some good offensive line play, but the 2 turnovers are not helping them. But what the defensive line for the Gators are doing and what that 3-on-1 just did to Ashanti Worthy is keeping them so far in this game in this first half.
Come on. Well, Ashanti Worthy has been iced out for a whole half.
And he's been iced out, but we're going to take an official review on this one, and we're going to take a brief timeout while they review it. Does the BIC get to keep the ball, or will the Gators get another chance inside the red zone? We're going to find out in just a moment. It's 12-6. Gators maybe have the ball on this one. And we are still in litigation here as we try to decipher who will be with the ball. And it looks like the Gators might be walking away with it. 12-6, your score. And the BIC with the lead, but it is a precarious one with 1:55 left to go. And from what it seemed like up here in the booth, it was Gators' ball. But we are awaiting for the official word from, and it looks like it'll be...
There's a streaker.
I hope not.
And we're trying to get the official decision here.
It's absolutely not somebody you want to see streaking, but somebody is running through the stands doing something.
And we are looking for the official call here. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond, bringing you the best spring football on the planet Earth. There might be something on like Planet Garbatron or something like that. You know, it's in the C-197 or whatever, in a dimensional merge somewhere out there in Helm's Deep. But right now, this is the pinnacle of spring football. 7-on-7, no helmets, no pads, all action. And right now we have seen a lot of action from both defenses. A defensive struggle here as the Gators in the lead, 12-6.
Not just peak spring football, guys. This is peak entertainment.
Yeah.
This is Final Four action that you will never get from a league, especially as Matt and I were talking about a certain T formation that was witnessed. And I've been trying not to say it, but it's that flabbergasting. But, as flummoxed right now as the BIC.
That's my favorite word.
That's the word of the day. As flummoxed as BIC's team feels right now, up 12-6, most teams would be happy with a 12-6 lead, 155 left. But the expectations coming in this game for a team that debuts the revenge, redeem the red uniforms. It says Death Row
Reds, redeem the red game.
The Death Row red uniforms for a team who you could see there, if you're not used to the league, their colors are traditionally silver and light blue. They came into this game with a lot of confidence, maybe too much so, because the team that they're facing across from them is struggling at times and still is exactly where they would want to be if you ask them.
BIC ball, runner possessed the ball out of bounds, so it will be BIC ball. Wow. According to the official replay, we'll see it here again.
He possessed the ball. Now this is the best angle that we're going to get at it. He's got. He doesn't have possession yet. He has possession here.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's
by that
so
ruling, the BIC showing that they are, Superman, the kryptonite right now is locking down Ashante Worthy.
The kryptonite is red.
I can't even say. So where did he have possession out of bounds?
He gets the ball right.
Where?
Right.
Oh, he was out of bounds when he got the ball. He stepped out of bounds. Him touching the ball makes it an illegal touch. So it will be BIC ball.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So that's clean. That's clean.
That's
clean. Great try.
And listen, because of the complexity of the ruling there,
that's clean.
Everyone in Maryland right now is screaming at the top of their lungs with all types of choice words, but that is the correct calling.
That is clean. I just seen it. I was with you guys until I just seen that.
And if you think that you're going to win a Final Four game in the A7FL on one call, you're mistaken. The Gators have a lot more to get into.
Yeah, the Gators still have a little bit more momentum right now. So.
It is definitely a tough break because that would have been really good setup for their offense.
It would have been the best positioning they started with all game.
Right.
And it's one of those moments where they're taking a possession away from BIC. Now, BIC started with the ball in the first half, so the Gators are going to get the ball first in the second half. So we'll see how these last couple of moments here in this first half.
Listen, we have to give the shout out to the refs because that is a great call.
That's
a great call.
You had to get down into the nitty-gritty of it, the microscopic of it all.
That was a great call.
And we called it here.
I was against it completely.
It
I did
looked
not
like
see
Baltimore
that
had the ball, but when you look at the slow-mo footage,
you see the foot out of bounds.
You see him stepping out of bounds and then touching the ball and grabbing it, which deadens the ball.
Even by accident, Ashante Worthy is making plays.
Yeah, Ashante Worthy might have saved their season now.
Stepping out of bounds before he touches it.
And with under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, in the first half, you still have another half of football. The Gators will get the ball back at the half. Right now,
it's about who wants it more
I'll ask you this, guys.
Who wants it more right
here? In this situation, do the Gators have a better chance to score on offense if they get the ball back after stopping them, or they have a better chance to maybe get a pick six or some type of weird?
They definitely. What they need to do is continue to utilize the pressure on the BIC, because last season, the BIC made the championship, but it was a young team. This team is even younger than what they had last year.
You think so?
Especially on defense.
On defense, definitely.
Very true,
on the front line,
very true.
You have veterans. You have a Carnell Wachter. You have players who have been here before.
And their offense is still young, but there are a lot of those guys from last year that were rookies or second-year or third-year guys. They have that extra year under their belt. For me, based on what we've seen offensively from the Gators, they're inviting BIC to throw the ball, because that might be their best opportunity on a change of possession type of fast break situation.
They trust their DBs against Ashante Worthy.
Gators will call timeout.
And I'll tell you what, it's the Gators' defensive line, because the pressure that Sterry Codrington has faced today is even more pressure than he faced in both of the games against the U this year. And we were talking about this in one of the earlier breaks, guys. The BIC strength of schedule, although they have the U twice on it, and they started the season off with the rare breed, they've been getting used to playing teams like the Vegas Force. They recently had a stretch of games in which they play. Here's the replay.
Just for guys, because I know everybody, just pay attention to his foot, not here. When he gets possession of the ball, he
steps out of bounds
there. Oh, no, that wasn't it, though.
And this is a replay of the interception earlier.
Yeah. Not there. They would have showed it. They showed the replay, but he didn't come. He was out of bounds when he grabbed possession of the ball. That's what's being said.
Well, everyone can say what they want. The only 3 people that matter are the ones that are dressed as zebras, and when they make a call on the field as a player, you just have to continue to move forward, and whether you agree with it or not, you could either quit and go home and cry about it, or you have 1 minute 55 left in the second quarter, in the first half, and the Gators really have to feel confident in where they're at now. Their defense is holding BIC's offense. The key for the Gators in this game is they're going to have to find a way on their offensive side of the ball to manufacture enough points to get ahead of this BIC team, because even though they're struggling, BIC might accidentally walk into another 12 or 18 in the second half.
This is still BIC. This is still the number one team in the league.
And they can explode at any moment.
Yeah, let's not forget who
as they spread the ball out. Because at the bottom of your screen, pretty tight coverage. You got Kason Campbell and Ashanti Worthy, and all they have to do is get a completed pass to one of those guys. And right now they have Amari Skinner on Ashanti Worthy. Not a great matchup.
But he's been matched up with him all game. He's been matched up with them all game.
In trouble.
Sly
will run downfield and get out of the 29.
Sly is important here. I'm sorry about that, but Sly is very important here because he's running the spy on Sterry right now. And Ashanti looks
and as athletic and fast as he is, he'll have a first down, letting him loose.
Second down. Codrington throws this one. That's caught by Worthy. He'll bring it down at the 39, and he'll spin out around the 44, and that will be first down.
That's really his first action on offense, really. He had the one jet sweep near the goal line that was stopped immediately, but minute 19 ticking down. BIC on the move.
BIC have all their timeouts. The snap by Codrington. Throws this one deep. This one is out of reach for Worthy. Was waiting for that jet fuel to kick in, but it does not, so it'll be 2nd and 10, a minute 7 left to play. Based
on the struggles they've had in the passing game, I would really love to see BIC get the ball out of Sterry's hands quicker for more of a quicker timing pass, kind of get back into rhythm. Because what they're asking him to do is drop back, make the extra man miss, and throw it 35 yards down the field on target.
That's not what they're asking him to do. That's what that's how their offense is designed.
Right now.
Always. He's literally responsible for one man always. And he could care less. That's how his offense runs.
But as they come with the twins at the bottom of your screen, just give the quick screen.
Look, trouble. Codrington looking to roll out here. He keeps this one, and that's out of play.
That's intentional grounding, no?
He's out of the tackle box, so it's not intentional grounding, but did he hit the ground first? Here's a penalty flag.
Flag on the play. See what the call is, and it'll be they're picking up the flag, waving off the flag. He was outside of the tackle box. Looking like for a potential holding call on Courage Posey.
Yikes. How indeed. This is nuts.
An interesting call from the official.
Yes.
As frustrated as BIC is, it really doesn't matter how they win this game. They just have to figure it out.
They just have to win.
So they really have to compose themselves, because the more frustrated they are and the more stressed out they make themselves, the bigger the opening they leave for the Gators to kind of backdoor this type of game.
Right.
And it will be holding on the offense, so the penalty will be declined, so it will be 3rd down. And we see number 23, Jawan Lipscomb on the line.
Where?
Or someone wearing number 23's jersey on the line. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Campbell will set to the top of your screen.
Oh, penetration,
In
a lot of pressure.
Trouble again, throw, caught by Worthy at the 50. And that one could be close.
And the only problem I'm seeing is if it's not Courage, if it's not Sterry, and not Ashanti, it's no one. And that's a problem. Because BIC's deep. It shouldn't just be those guys making plays.
Offense all year has been easy going for the quarterback position, because he's just hanging out back there with an easy pocket. You see the Gators' defensive line is getting quick and incessant pressure, and that's what's forcing Sterry into a game that, let's face it, Rob's been kind of hinting at this a little bit on the sides as we go to breaks. For an MVP, Sterry Codrington is looking a little pedestrian at times in this game.
And it will be 4th and 2 after the timeout by the Gators. They have one timeout remaining. And with not a lot of time left in the first half, the BIC have to respond here. I think they need to get another 6 on the board, because if they can leave it a one-score game and the Gators get the ball at half, it's going to be a hard day at the office. And you see Thomas Mascaro coming in on the line for the BIC, looking to add a little more up
He's
front.
calling a play in there.
Yeah, he's calling a play. He's definitely not going in to do anything.
He's still got the sneakers on. Those are dad shoes. Tom
Mascaro's not coming in to make an impact. But
him and John Saltis, former Thrasher guys,
definitely
finding their spots on the sideline as coaches for BIC.
Definitely pay attention to the play of the defensive line of the Gators. They are ignoring holds. They are fighting through holds and going. They're not asking the refs to call it. They're taking the game out of the refs' hands. If the ref sees the hold, he see it. If they don't, they don't. They're still rushing.
It'll be 4th and 2. Codrington snaps. Looking for an option. May carry this one himself. He will. He will get the first down and more.
And slide.
Brought down.
Slide.
But Codrington will keep the ball.
I keep telling you, slide is the key to this game.
Almost forced a turnover there.
I keep telling you guys.
Let's give credit to K-Wack on this block, because Bone gets past him.
Right.
Sterry rolls out, and then watch the block here from K-Wack. Oh, that's not K-Wack. But he puts his hands up in the air, avoids the clip, and gives him just enough room to get the first down on 4th down.
And it will be 1st and 10. 37 seconds. The BIC burned their first time out.
Shout out to Zach and Vic. The booth is definitely not musty. It's actually very cool and nice in here.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
Thank you. It's a party in here.
It's a party in here. They've been screaming the booth is musty half the game.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're musty themselves. 1st and 10. 37 seconds left to play. Codrington will be under center in the shotgun. Start to see the heat take effect here. Utilizing that towel in motion is Worthy. He'll set in. More towards the slot, the snap on 1st and 10. The throw out of play. And that will, guy's wearing red, but he's the one holding up the chains, and it will be 2nd down.
And they put Ashanti Worthy in motion to give him some space to run the out route.
It's not working.
DK covered him. So even when Sterry has the pocket, has the time, he misses the throw there on the out route and bring up 2nd and 10.
And an opportunity here to stifle this defense. What can they do to stop the BIC? The Gators are about to answer that question. 2nd and 10.
There it is again, but the refs are not calling it.
Throws this one deep downfield in traffic. And there is something off between Ashanti and Sterry.
I think I'm gonna leave that to the end of the game.
And you can see him. You can see Codrington limping here.
No, definitely Worthy.
Worthy limping.
Yeah.
And Sterry does what he needs to do as a quarterback there. He steps up in the pocket. He keeps his feet, launches the ball downfield. And a lot of those times you almost feel like that type of play is going to end up in a touchdown for BIC.
Because that's what
credit the Gators who said they were going to cover him and so far have.
But that's what they're used to. And again, I'm saying if Ashanti's out of the game, where are all these other receivers? It can't just be on Ashanti Worthy and Sterry. There's Courage, there's Umar, there's Trey Cohen. These other receivers need to step up.
And it's the first time we see Jason Sisson in the game.
I didn't even know he was here.
He's at the top of your screen.
With 27 seconds left to go. Yeah, we're used to seeing a very diverse BIC offense. They haven't been able to open it up as of yet.
Campbell goes in motion to the bottom of your screen.
The snap. Codrington throws this one. Reception. That's Campbell, and that will be a 1st down.
He finally
and that's a nice curl. He goes in motion, forces his defender to come across the field, bails on the route, and it's just a quick, easy pitch and catch there because you take advantage of the guy coming all the way across the field. That's how you get your quarterback. That's how you get your quarterback back on track.
Great blocking by that offensive line.
And that was impressive. That's been what's been needed the entire first half because Baltimore have been finding ways, either spying with Sly Washington, like you've been pointing out, Rob, or just through a lot of emphatic pressure.
And the Gators have definitely been making it tough on the BIC offense, but BIC's still driving. 2 timeouts with 22 seconds left.
Like a QB run.
The snap, and that looks like Koradamas strikes again, and he'll cut upfield.
Definitely
Still,
QB
clock
run.
keeps running. He'll be pushed out of bounds at the 14.
I'm Robadamas, but
and to be fair, Rob called it.
The heat's starting to get to me, boys.
Chill. Now they're going to say the booth is musty. They're saying our knees are touching in the booth. But, I mean, again, the game's looking like it's really on Sterry's back. And with, 14 seconds left, that was a great play to put them in a great position to score.
Well, let's talk about last week. Codrington only threw 17 times. He was 10 for 17, 96 yards passing. His lowest of the year.
But they didn't need to at all. Not once in that game did they need Sterry Codrington to throw the ball to win. Right now, it's not necessarily that they need it against the Gators, but as we are in the Final Four, as we're ramping up for the winner of this game to take on a fully staffed and rolling Patterson U, maybe now's the time for Sterry to start finding some receivers, as you see Ashanti with plenty of space for the slant at the bottom of your screen.
There is an entire
There's way
pool.
too much space back there.
Yeah, there's a small ocean. And looking to jump the line
More
again.
penalties. Like, what is going on?
And it'll be false start on the offense
My goodness,
once
BIC.
again. And I think the offensive line is a little too amped. They're a little too excited, and they're trying to find any way to psych out the Gators defense, and they're too over anxious, and it's costing them.
And they're getting beat on every play like they stole something by the Gators defensive line. And you look at the mismatch, right? Even though you look at the size of Bone, that's an athlete, number 6, right? So you got wide receiver type guys rushing a passer through an offensive line that's pretty much a regular sized offensive line with the requisite foot speed.
The snap, the throw out of the hands of the receiver, and it'll be third down.
It's not Ashanti. Doesn't look like it's going.
At the top of the screen, Kason Campbell ran about a 10-yard out route and couldn't have been more open.
That was Burton, John Burton, the intended receiver.
Yeah, they send Burton a tight end down the middle of the field, and just out of his reach, it looked like he was open, and they could have been a touchdown. But with 9 seconds left, BIC still knocking on the door. The Gators doing everything they can to stay in this game. As well as the Gators defense has been playing so far, guys, the last 9 seconds of this half, huge for the Gators because they've been doing everything that they've been asked to do. But if BIC somehow puts up another score up on that board based on the way that the Gators offense has looked, it's going to be hard for them to put 20 up on the board against BIC's defense.
And remember the last time these two teams played, the Gators were held to 13 points. So they need to cross that Rubicon. And with 9 seconds left to go, the Gators will get the ball at the half. And it will be second and goal. Codrington.
Whatever that is killing them. Whatever that is killing them.
Slight hesitation before the snap.
It's killing them.
It feels like the entire offense is out of sync, and we saw the same problem last week against the Force.
And I called it. I said, yo, there's something about the way he's calling the snap that's throwing everyone off. The defense shouldn't be jumping off sides. Now that the Gators are caught onto it and they're disciplined, the offense can't seem to manage.
And you know better than anybody, Rob, when an offensive lineman in this league has a quick Baltimore special.
And a variation of the
That's
Maryland
Jason Cizon.
special.
Oh, my God.
Sweet mother of Batman, what a tackle.
Ooh.
And they thought they could sneak him on the sideline and get a Pac Money-esque play there against the Baltimore team, but able to get a couple of yardage there to make it.
Which is very weird because I thought the flag was still in play. I didn't see them pick up the flag, call the flag. I didn't see any of that.
There's a lot of discussion going on.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't think they can do that.
And what I was going to say is referencing the snap count. You know better than anybody as an offensive lineman, Rob, when you have a quarterback, his cadence is something that you kind of feel more than you just hear.
Right.
Set, go. And it's that timing, that internal timing. What Sterry's doing is because you're only allowed to say set and then the go, great play by Sly trying to pick up the much smaller
My goodness.
Cizon.
He tried to, like face palm the football and choke slam him with it.
I mean, when the guy you're playing against has a baby pacifier mouthpiece, you get the tendency to pick him up.
And it will be second and goal.
And again, even with 2 seconds, the most high-powered offense in the league can do anything. Don't count BIC out at all. Don't even think about counting them out.
It is 12 yards to blue turf for the BIC. Looking to get inside the end zone. With With 2 seconds left to play, they have 2 timeouts, but this will be the last play of the half.
And Ricky Tate coming on as the taller receiver coming out.
It's jump ball season.
And Dwan Williams will also check out for the BIC. Right
Crucial
now,
play here for the Gators defense. I think BIC going into the half doesn't feel great, but up 12-6, they're doing what they need to do and are trying to figure it out. But if you're the Gators, it will be soul-crushing to allow, with 2 seconds left,
a touchdown. And I'm looking for
BIC,
courage here.
as much as they've struggled to get that last bit of 6 on the board in this first half.
If there's pressure, I'm looking for courage. If there's a lane, I'm looking for Sterry to just take it.
3 wide receivers stacked up at the top of your screen. Mosey on the line as an eligible receiver. The snap. Codrington automatically in trouble. Codrington will just keep this one. Codrington finds his way to Painter. Touchdown, BIC.
And for all the great play of the Gators, for the great rush of Sly, it's Sterry Codrington finding a way with his feet. And when all else fails in the air, guys, when you have that speed, you can get that 13 yards. Touchdown, BIC, 18-6.
But right now, they're going to have to slam the door and get to 1 point. If this is a 20-6 game, if I'm the BIC, I'm a little more comfortable. I'm a little more relaxed. I'm not playing on pins and needles in the second half.
See, Sterry was even a little bit unconfident letting go of the ball on the celebration. He just wants to keep it in his hands. He knows he can succeed there. So that's going to beat the Gators, but what we need to see from the BIC team to feel confident going into July 10th is that their pass game, their offense in the pass has to figure it out, because right now they're struggling mightily with the pass game.
Because this is
so to be the extra point from the 5-yard line, they'll go for the 1 point. Umar Butter-Lewis, speed kills, number 1 at the bottom of your screen.
Ricky Tate on the line. He'll be an eligible receiver on the line as well. See Kason Campbell in the slot. Snap. Codrington with time throws this one. Campbell can't hold on to it, and that's not on him. He was just out of position on that one, and Campbell very frustrated.
You know the rules. If it touch your hands, man. If it touch your hands.
And this is how we will end the first half. So the BIC finding their way into the end zone, finding their way to light the lamp at least one more time before the BIC have to throw it off to the Gators to start our second half. 1 half down, another half left to go. And as we head into halftime, gentlemen, I don't know how many other times I could say half in some variation or another, but if you're the BIC walking to the sideline at this point, you are either excited, frustrated, or you are just trying to maintain. Is it at this point just trying to maintain and hold on? Are they looking to park the bus?
Well, as confident as BIC has shown all year, as confident as they came in pregame with the Redeem the Red jerseys, they got to be going into halftime with a lot more questions than they had in the beginning of this game facing the Gators. And if you're the Gators, the question is, what do we do on offense?
Right.
And we'll find out on the other side of this how we got to the score. Who's going to be the team playing the Patterson U in 2 weeks? We're going to find out. It is the U and the PIC in the lead. We'll be back with halftime. is a two-score game as we enter halftime. Your score 18-6. The BIC with the lead, and it felt way more precarious with under 2 minutes left to play in the first half, as the BIC scoring with no time left, walking off the first half with a touchdown off the back of Sterry Codrington. And gentlemen, when you take a look at this BIC offense, what do you see as the major concerns? Is it the lack of communication between Sterry Codrington and his receivers? Is it on the line? Is it just an entire breakdown right now?
I think it starts with the offensive line, because what we've grown accustomed to with this BIC team is that Sterry has the time, and when he has the time, he can pinpoint, find those receivers downfield, because the speed is just unstoppable as far as the wide receiver position goes for BIC. But it starts and ends with that pass rush that's getting a lot of pressure on Sterry, forcing him into a couple of just blatant misses in the passing game, and he's really just had to rely on his legs, which is his kind of go-to in those situations. Hopefully that doesn't lead to bad habits as this playoff continues on into the championship game next week, if they're lucky enough to get there. Rob, what do you think? Because when I said the offensive line, you're giving me the eyes.
As a former lineman in this league, I hate being blamed, so I'm looking at it like, I don't think it's the offensive line at all. I think Sterry has the same amount of time he usually has. I think his receivers need to step up. It can't just be just Ashante Worthy and Sterry with his legs. Give Courage the ball. You got to open the game up. For whatever reason, these guys have figured you out.
I think that's too. Because when you ask, Matt and Rob, and you know this better, when you ask your offensive line to just be a pass-blocking offensive line, you put them in their worst position, because they have to retreat. And when you have a defensive pass rush in the Gators where they're predicated on speed, quickness, it's already a mismatch when you're facing the offensive line. As you see here, this is the interception. One of the things that's lost in this game is that BIC is not letting the Gators breathe at all on offense. And their one drive that they had, there was at minimum 20 yards of penalty yardage there. But look how quickly guys are getting in on Sterry Codrington. And this is a play that he makes. But if he's forced to constantly make decisions under pressure, what he's choosing right now is when all else fails, I'm going to run it. And that's been working against the Gators. The question is as we face the U in potential matchup, if they're able to get out of this, is that going to be enough to win the championship?
And the defensive pressure that we saw from the U earlier today, there's a block. He blocked the man so hard, he got himself on the ground. And Codrington, within the 5-yard line on that rush, Codrington's legs have really been what have been carrying the BIC offense so far this afternoon.
And I think that's been hurting them too. Whatever that is that's happening between the communication from Sterry Codrington to the offensive line, whatever that is, that's been killing them the entire game. Do you see how it's miscued?
Yeah.
And now the line doesn't know what to do, and there's weird pressure. And
we're seeing different starters on the line too today. Patricio making a rare start on the line, and you got to wonder if it's because they are looking to try different things, or they're so overly confident in whatever scheme they can throw out there.
Something's being switched. I think they were doing something they were not supposed to be doing, and the refs caught it today, because it's messing them up. Their offensive line.
Well, we saw a litany of penalties last week against.
True, and some of them were that exact penalty.
And one of the things that we've seen when the Gators were finally able to
Ken
move
Stansbury
the ball,
got walked on that play. I didn't even see that.
And this is the most controversial play of the half, where Ashante Worthy stepped out of bounds.
That's a potential. Now we can't just give the Gators offense points, but that's a potential 12-point swing right there, because after they finally get the ball here,
oh my God, they never.
This is what happens.
Right here. Oh, great block, Courage.
And just some great.
This
was the
they're
best
blocking.
drive
This
of
is
the
what I'm
day.
saying. They're blocking, guys. Like, we can't put it on the O-line. Sly is doing a great job, and I just think it's a matchup thing.
And one of the best passes of the day, but Codrington having when
Sly
it counts.
with the over pursue. I think Sly should have just fell back and been that second guy.
Well, that's
Because
what
when they spy, I'm sorry, Corey,
Yeah.
but when they've been spying, it's been very
It's
effective.
been working, yeah.
and that's the tough part is when you're asking one player with the opportunity to get Sterry Codrington to make the play in the backfield, and that's the difference between a loss or a touchdown. That's the type of stakes we're playing here in the Final Four, and that's why Sterry Codrington is so dangerous back there.
And we're going to find out on the other side if the Gators can find a way to get back on the board. They'll have the ball, and we'll break down some of the stats for you on the other side of this one. It's 18-6, the BIC with the lead, but stay right where you are. We've got a whole bunch of football waiting for you on the other side. It's the Final Four. Who's going to play to you? Who's going to the chip? We'll find out after this. We are back live here at Asbury Park Stadium. It's the A7FL Final Four. The BIC lead 18-6 on a beautiful but very oppressive day when it comes to the heat at Asbury Park Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond, and taking a look at some of the stats real quick. The BIC today, in terms of rushing yards, 158 rushing yards in the first half, outpacing the Baltimore Gators by 106 yards in terms of rushing yards. 52 yards on the ground, only 15 passing yards for the Gators, 36 for the BIC. But the big story, gentlemen, outside of 2 turnovers by the Gators, penalty yards. Gators, 10 yards in terms of penalty yards.
Okay.
70
My
yards
goodness.
for the BIC in terms of penalties.
Which I think is more than the offensive output for the Gators offense when they've had an opportunity.
It's literally just a slight difference.
That literally puts them even. I think that breaks them almost even
And when we talk about the amount of yards the BIC have given up in penalty yards this season, this playoff against the Force 2 weeks ago, this is going to be the biggest problem. And if you're Ryan Shamar and you're the Patterson U, you are welcoming that offensive line, because when you have the defense of the Patterson U full of veterans, full of people who know exactly how to incite someone on the opposite side of the field and make them make mistakes, we've been talking about it off camera, it's really hard to beat someone 3 straight times.
Right.
And it's, in the A7FL, it's not college football where there's a BCS and you have to be undefeated. The more wins that BIC was stacking up, and the 2 times that they beat the U, they were really proud of themselves, and those were their Super Bowls. But let's face it, as we were talking about, even during those broadcasts, that 50-48 win in week 2 or 3 or 4 didn't mean anything. The divisional round, which just set up seeding, at this point right now, because they're using the championship game, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, what did it mean?
So in 2 weeks, regardless of what happens in the second half, the U know that they're going to, on July 10th, they're going to be in the game.
Well, here's a question for both of you. If you're the rare breed, would you rather have faced the BIC today than the U?
Oh.
Well, coming in, Rare Breed had the confidence coming in, and even on that first drive.
That BIC have been making today, if I'm Rare Breed, I would have rather have played BIC.
Because the U were way more composed. They were way more, I would say, more locked in than the BIC have been in this first half. But the deeper we get into this game, the more I think we're going to see Sterry Codrington pull stuff out.
But as we saw Ryan Shamar making making his presence known in the booth and talking about how he feels about this game, one thing for the U to maybe watch out for is the overconfidence, because one of the things that I think affected them earlier in this season is that they thought they were going to run through this for a 3rd trip to the final and another championship. They were maybe a little bit overconfident. That might be the wrong end of the spectrum to be, as BIC is facing a tough Gators team and maybe getting a little bit of a wake-up call right before they have a chance against that 3rd game against the U.
But when we return here from Asbury Park Stadium, the BIC will be throwing the ball off to the Gators. Can the Gators chomp down and return to the chip, or will the BIC get their date with destiny? We'll find out on the other side of this break. We're back live here. It's 18-6 at the end of the first half, and litigation, the word of the day. And whenever it is the A7FL Final Four, litigation is the name of the game, and it is going to be close. It is going to be contentious. Everything is meticulously looked at, and these two men know exactly what that feels like. Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond joining me here in the booth. I'm Matt Ryan calling all the action for you. And it seems right now that we're getting ready for the start of the second half. The Gators will get the ball here, guys, and walking out of that quarter, the BIC scored last, but do they have the momentum?
It's tough because how BIC feels about their performance today is probably a little bit disappointed with what they've done so far. But the fact is when you're up 18-6 and your defense looks like it could be dominant for the rest of this second half, you're not in that bad of a position for this Final Four. But the problem I think that's facing the BIC sideline in their redeemed red jerseys, which might be the problem, Rob, is that they're really focused on the execution of their offense and the lack thereof and how it speaks to their eventual goals, because every team involved in the A7FL is not looking for a week-to-week type of satisfaction. BIC has admitted this much, is that they wanted the U to win against the Rare Breed, and then once the U were able to do it, that they were excited at the potential chance for the redemption in the ultimate game of the season in the championship. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Regardless of what the Gators have been doing in the first half, they have to feel relatively confident with their performance. And although offensively we would want more from them, Rob's been talking about it. If they put Sly Boogie in, number one, who is one of their playmakers and one of their leaders, if they put him in at quarterback and he manages to make some kind of accidental play at that position, they're right in this game. So if you're BIC, you need to stop feeling as frustrated as you are and as they've shown, because when they had to and when they've had to, even on that last drive, even though it didn't look as pretty as they might want it to, they're getting enough points on the board to be in the position where they're in control of this game. They have courage on their side, and if they can get back to more of a consistent offense where they're focusing on, getting positive yards every play and not looking for the touchdown with Ashanti Worthy, which as a quarterback I would want to, with a weapon like that.
That's what they've been doing.
Getting back on track, I think, starts one play at a time, and it really does, and Rob doesn't want to hear this, it really starts up front. If they can get their offensive line engaged with a couple of run plays and maybe push that smaller Gators defensive line, it could swing the momentum back in their direction. But I don't think that they're in a bad spot. Just I don't think they're proud of their performance so far.
It's not the BIC we're used to seeing.
And could the problem be that the BIC have depth everywhere except on the front line, on the offensive line? Is that where it's not a slight on the offensive line?
I know, but I just know it's not that. I feel like there's a deeper miscommunication that we're not getting, because we can hear them on the field, but all those offsides, those false start calls, those come from Sterry.
Yeah.
And I think Sterry, again, I don't know if this is true. This is just me. What I'm seeing, Sterry is putting the game on his back and showing, I guess, he is the MVP quarterback. But you're only going to be able to put up 21, 30-something points with just you. With Ashanti, you're going to be able to put up 56, 70 points, putting Worthy in and using him the way you're supposed to.
Well, and it's funny, I thought that this game was going to be a lot different than it was last year, but last year what the Gators did to BIC is they held Sterry Codrington to 2 attempts.
Right.
And they forced him to be a running quarterback this season in this rematch. Although Sterry's been putting the ball in the air and they've been asking him to be a passer, at times, guys, it seems like he hasn't been able to do it.
But you can't just have one target. So Umar has to step up. Trey Cohen has to step up.
Regardless of who the targets are, I don't think the targets are the issue. He's been targeting other guys. It's just the balls aren't there.
They're not open.
I've seen a couple of open receivers. The thing is that when the balls aren't in the catching radius of the receiver, it doesn't matter who it is.
And I think it's because Sterry's not able to set. He's not able to stabilize. He's not able to get the depth of field. He is looking not past his first 2 progressions and having to make those break glass runs and we're about to get ready for the throw-off. We'll stick with you here live on Stadium. But when you take a look at that, it could be the great defensive line of the Gators.
And
that's part of it, too.
Because we've seen this defensive line play the BIC before,
Right.
but we're seeing different names up front. We're seeing Patricio. We're seeing some of these names alternate in and out.
Right.
And is it the lack of consistency so far from this line, lack of consistent
You know what this
people
game
up
reminds
front?
me of, guys? Is earlier
here's
on.
the 3-on-1.
Here's the 3-on-1. Stadium's rocking. Here's DK Butcher with a
DK.
chance.
Powerful runner.
Butcher
Powerful
gets
runner.
tripped up and
Oh, my
stays
God.
up. But much
Oh, my God.
Much like a child on their first day of kindergarten holding onto the legs was number 13. That's Laquan Johnson.
The stadium shook. The stadium shook on that one.
And shout out to DK Butcher, who talked
my
a pretty big game coming in
goodness.
here. So far, at times, he's lived up to it, guys.
No, DK plays a great game. He's a strong kid. He's young. He's very young, very strong, very fast. And that stiff arm,
Kyle
man.
Ward-esque.
Listen, that stiff arm came from somewhere. I just don't want to say it on live TV, but that is one heck of a stiff arm.
And I'm the long snapper, Matt Ryan, joined by the big lineman, Rob Fabian, and the quarterback, Corey Hammond, calling the action for you. Thank you so much for joining us here. No matter where you're watching, no matter when you're watching, we're glad you're just joining us here this Sunday afternoon, a beautiful Sunday. And it will be now on Robinson with Snag Sosa set up to his right, and a handoff to Sosa, and Sosa will get
North-south.
a north-south run, gaining 2, probably 3. So it'll be second down, and there you see number 50, Alex Verardi, who putting in an argument for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Well, he's fighting his teammate, Psycho. I call him Master Chief Campbell on the other side. There's a Zoe sighting, right? That's a Zoe sighting.
That is a Zoe sighting.
So,
I still think it's a clear cut that Verardi is Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but he also missed a couple games. So there's, I guess, a conversation. And you could also say that Ricky Tate playing corner for BIC is also in consideration. All rookies on the same defense playing at a really high level. But what the Gators offense seems to be doing against this BIC defense, I might want to see when the BIC has the ball, them attacking vertically north-south with courage and forcing the defensive line for the Gators to honor the run game, which could open up in the pass.
Second and 7. Robinson throws
Why
this
not
one
let it fly
deep,
to
and
nobody?
another ball to John Cena, and it will be 3rd and 7.
Courage is not a north-south guy. Courage, he bounces it out. Like, if it's open north or south, he'll take it, but...
Well, Courage, what he's been doing this year, because he has so few carries and he wants to hurt somebody in the best ways in this league, he almost seeks contact when he should be running for the end zone.
Always.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Gators offense. And you know, we talk about this game and how it feels. BIC's defense has really made everything for the Gators tough. And even though the Gators had that one drive in which they were able to kind of shove it in the end zone, you know, they're really looking for a way to get more than just that 3 yards in a cloud of dust as it's 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, one receiver at the top of your screen. That's Matthews. The handoff to Sosa.
that's big
Ball
move.
almost stripped, and it will be 4th down.
Definitely got some yardage on that, but big mook with the tackle.
Yeah, when they go with a counter look, and the misdirection a lot of times can be beneficial, but when the defense is just downhill,
It's too
knows
fast,
exactly
yeah.
what you're going to do, they get the penetration and force the 4th down.
And it will be 4th and 3. And maybe another run by Snag Sosa here,
I
but
personally think Kenny should not be on the field.
really.
Yeah.
You think
They-
that running right up the gut
Yeah,
might
running
expose it?
right at Kenny is
So
going to expose.
Suge Knight's going against his own
Yeah.
mantra. He's in the video. He's all up in the video. He's got to get out of the
He
video.
gotta get out the video, man. Kenny got walked down. Unless he shows me something different here.
He might just right now. He's
Yeah,
wearing
maybe,
sunglasses
'cause I
and a
called
red
him
jersey.
out.
It'll be 4th down, and Robinson will keep it. He will be
Verardi-
forced to the
oh, yikes.
sideline, and the
Come on.
BIC will get the
Verardi,
ball.
my Defensive Rookie of the Year right there.
And what do we say? You don't run to the edge of this
don't run to the
BIC
edge.
defense, especially to Verardi because of his motor, because of his speed. And
That's silly. That was silly. That was
and Ricky
he even
Robinson
said no.
got to the
Come on,
sideline and
Ricky.
basically just
Come on,
gives up
Ricky.
here. He thought he was going to get positive
That
yardage,
was
and then he's
silly.
just running for his life.
That was silly, Ricky. I'm sorry.
And Verardi smelled that coming. Like, he had like a spider sense
That
on
was
that
silly.
one. And we looked at the negatives on the BIC front defensive line there. Kenny Stansbury, why do you think they went to that outside run? Or Robinson just did it out of instinct?
Kenny scared them. Kenny scared them, which is smart. But if they were smart, they would attack that. But again,
If you watched any tape on the BIC this season and you see Verardi or Columbia on either side
You would not go that way.
No, I would have tried for a pass there, but that's why I'm in the booth. 1st and 10. Codrington throws it on the screen.
Dwan's not. Dwan with the stiffy.
Williams!
Oh!
With the hezzy and the Huss!
Big hezzy
Flag
Huss.
on the play!
Excuse me.
And he'll be out of bounds. Will not see pay dirt.
Oh, man. Dwan is one of my favorites when he gets the ball. He looks so unassuming, but he makes magic happen.
I'm not sure what the penalty is there, but unfortunately where it was placed is most likely against BIC and is going to get called back.
I would hope not, bro. 70-plus yards of penalties is absurd, and they should be doing their
They're
crawls.
walking back, so it
My
will be a
goodness.
hold. Let's see here.
When you have a defensive pass rush like the
Dwan.
Gators have shown, this is actually a great play call. Nice move here.
Unhand me, sir.
I'm not sure where I see
that
it.
could have been the
Huss.
hold.
There,
Bye-bye.
that's a clear clip right there.
Block in the back, that might have been the call.
He tried to tip.
Illegal use of Dwan in the offense.
But
Excuse me.
That's a clip. That's a clip right there by K-Way.
Is that?
I mean, you see the 19, you see the name on the back of the jersey. It doesn't say Gators.
It'll be 1st and 15.
Doesn't say Barney.
After the flag. And it will be the BIC continuing the drive here. See, Umar
You know what,
Lewis.
though? That screen is an opportunity for the quarterback to see the ball, leave his hands, be caught by a receiver. And right now, I'm going up top to Ashanti Worthy on the fade.
Worthy at the bottom of your screen.
Hey, he's communicating to him. Let's do it.
Lewis in the slot. Worthy at the flex tight end running back position.
And Umar Butter Lewis in the slot on the inside to the bottom of your screen. So there's a lot of speed out there for Sterry to use.
Codrington snaps. Here comes the pressure. Codrington will get on his
Slides.
bicycle.
There it is.
He will get to the
There it
36, and that will be
But
2nd down.
in order for Sly to be more effective at the position he's at, he needs someone on that outside forcing Sterry back towards him, and he's not really getting that. He's making a play, but he can make a better one. Pay it to see. Nick Mays is getting blocked way too well here to
By
help
Courage.
at all. Yeah, by Courage. So Sly can only get him after the fact. But if Nick Mays, gets better penetration and doesn't, gets unblocked, Sly can make a heck of a play in the backfield.
And there's DK Butcher mirroring
down.
Ashanti Worthy.
That is again.
Codrington will throw this one deep downfield, and that one could have been brought in by number 1. That's Umar Lewis. It'll be 3rd down.
That's what I mean,
That's
Rob.
what
It's
you
not.
mean. Yeah,
it's
I
not
see
that they're not going to other guys or putting guys in. It's that those plays that we're used to Sterry completing. I think the
we're only used to him
accumulation of the Gators' defensive pressure is
starting to get to him.
making Sterry a level of uncomfortable that is forcing those errant throws.
And it will be 3rd and 14.
Either that or he's just used to throwing to Ashanti Worthy. Who
Well,
would
look, if
probably
you're
make
going to
that
throw
catch.
every pass is going to be a 50-yard bomb, eventually, you might run into one. But if you're not accurate on those, break it down. Have your receivers run routes. You saw on that play, even though Ashanti Worthy's going in motion from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, there was an 8 to 10-yard cushion on him. Why not just give him the ball and let him work in open space? 3rd and 14.
And it will be an opportunity with 2 wide receivers at the top and bottom of your screen. Courage Mosey set up to the left of Codrington. Codrington
Lots of
immediately
penetration.
in trouble.
That is not a hit Sterry takes often. I have to admit that. The offensive line does not allow hits like that. That's one of the first times I've seen it.
The Baltimore Gators defense are becoming Swiss because they are master clock cleaners on that one. It'll be 4th and 14.
And because they have to play it so honest, even when Sterry gets hit, because you're guarding Ashanti here, you have to stick with him. You can't, cheat in, cheat out. You can't do any of that. Sterry will throw a strike to that kid, and it's 6.
5 for 15 passing on the day for Codrington. Not necessarily. We're seeing Sterry Codrington of 2021 a lot today. We're seeing a lot of the things that were exposed early in his rookie
To
season.
be fair, when you have pressure consistently on a quarterback, even guys like Huff, we will say is among the best quarterbacks that's played this style of football on television. Even he, earlier on in this season, looked pedestrian when there's constant pressure in your face.
And that will be a flag on the play.
On who? My goodness.
Another.
This is upsetting Rob to the nth degree.
You guys know,
Because what he's trying to do is he says the set go, and he's varying the go after the set to keep the defense from getting the jump. But what it's actually doing, since the defensive line is more athletic and able to react to that go,
Right.
the offensive linemen are stuck in their stance because they're waiting too.
And that's why I'm not blaming them for miscues on blocks. It's clearly a communication error between them two. And if what's happening is something that was illegal, Sterry's been doing it all season. They waved it off. Okay, no flag.
So it'll be a reset here.
Yeah, Sterry's been doing it all season, and it's catching up to him now, where this is how they've been playing.
And you see Sisson in the huddle.
On
Flag, so we'll reset. It'll be 4th and 14.
On 4th and 14, the receivers that they have out there are their big play guys. What I would more likely see if I was the quarterback, I would want to see a Kason Campbell timing route.
But
because
Kason hasn't been a sure thing.
Well,
hands-wise this year.
He has just as many catches as Ashanti Worthy today.
The snap. Codrington will run this one. He's going to try to get to the first down, and he's brought down inside the 25.
It's going to be close.
See where they spot the ball.
He's staying right there, making sure.
Now, this play may not matter in the scheme of who wins the championship, but this habit that seems to be developing in today's game for Sterry Codrington is that when he has the option to throw it, he automatically just tucks it and goes.
Always.
And that isn't what we've seen most of the season.
No.
Most of the season, he's keeping his eyes downfield, looking to make the bigger play, looking to make the better play.
You said it earlier. That's who Sterry was last year.
And guess what? When you tuck it on 4th and 14, you need 14 yards to get it. And even though it was a pretty impressive 12-yard run for a quarterback,
he got it.
No, it's 1st and 10 for the Gators.
Bro, 4th. BIC, the #1 offense in A7FL, just did 4 and out.
It's a rare one, but
this is Final Four playoff A7FL football.
Defense from the Gators, but this offense.
This is the opposite of what we saw in the last game, where there was a lot of high energy. This has been a
look at the bounce.
And Snag Sosa will get some solid gains and gain about 6 on that one. It will be 2nd down.
He's a ninja.
He just kicked somebody in the head.
I think he meant to kip up.
Mook in the head.
Mook is going to get that pound of flesh back. Look, he's looking at his lips. He's like, I got you. You weigh 135, my friend.
Oh, 103.
Bruv, right? That's a top
bruv.
boy, right?
That's the physical manifestation of I bet.
Oh, okay, all right, bet.
We on. 2nd and 3, and the ball off in the middle.
And there's been a litigious game so far.
There's been a lot
at some point.
Litigation.
Yeah. We might be getting subpoenas by the end of this one. 2nd and 3 with 5:36 left to go. And
every time Bone lines up at wide receiver, I am begging someone to throw the ball to him.
The handoff again to Sosa, and Sosa will be stifled and gain maybe 1 on the play. The ball rolls out.
So respectfully, they can attack Verardi's side if they, motion Bone in for the crackback, or at least a block, and they'll be able to get a good chunk of yards off of that.
What they have to do. You will not convince me that the Gators are going to win this game if they can't complete a forward pass.
Very true. I won't even dispute that.
Ricky Robinson, give him credit for getting them here, calling a good game, getting 6 on the board against a really tough defense. You got to throw the ball to a receiver, have him catch it for this to be a game that they hope to win.
Hopefully we can get Robinson's stat line in a moment, but Sosa not able to get off the blocks. The ball comes loose. Who comes up with it? It looks like the BIC might have it.
That Superman stretch, his body was up in the air.
It was, if his body was up,
I don't know.
Out.
Does his knee touch or not is going to be the question. The effort's there, and Snags is always going to give you
that extra
way more than the 135 pounds that his body is. It's probably 150. Let's give him 150.
And here's the likely scenario. It's either 4th down or turnover. Would you rather want it to be 4th and 1 and go for it again?
4th and 1. 4th and 1. I mean, if I'm the Gators, 4th and 1. If I'm BIC, give me the turnover, of course.
The worst thing that I see out there is that John Gauze is walking around demonstrative.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's in the blue shirt with the weird hat.
Is he hurt?
Is he scared? That's a good question.
It might be.
Oh, man. I can't. I would love an explanation as to why John Gauze is on the sideline coaching, because I'm pretty sure I've seen him in football shape, very healthy to play. So I'm very confused. If he's hurt, he's hurt. And I can always respect that. But if he's not hurt and he's kind of just kicking it with the homies.
And when we spoke with members of the Gators on Friday, there was a level of secrecy about who was going to be behind center not only in this game, but just about the status of John Goss Jr. in general. So it's
I think he's
unsure.
hurt. I think he's hurt.
I mean, he has to be.
He has to be
unable to
'Cause
perform at
this,
some level.
I'm talking. This is a guy that I watched sacrifice his body last season to make a touch, to dive for a touchdown play against a guy 3 times his size. John Goss will not be on that sideline having fun and just chilling at 100% right now. Even if he was 60%, he'd play. He must really be hurt.
And this play will be under review.
Well, the BIC offense is lining up with trips to the bottom of your screen, so they're going to go for the touchdown as KWAC finds a nice comfortable spot there.
And just try to get a little bit of a base in, nice base tan.
Trey Boston, y'all crazy, can barely lift his arm up.
Okay.
Hey, man, he's a quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
He can't throw. So,
Right.
But that's the problem. Is like we said,
It's
we've been
literally
I just ranted.
we literally asked the Baltimore Gators players, "Hey, is he hurt? Is he playing?" And they were
you
like,
said you don't
"You'll
know."
see on Sunday." Like
I'll
that's
just
literally
say,
what we were told.
From a competitive standpoint, it's as wishful thinking as we can get, because all we could imagine is wondering what type of a different game would be if a former champion, a former MVP candidate is throwing the ball for these Purple Warriors over here for the Gators.
So the ball came out. We're getting confirmation that the ball came out.
Okay.
It might be BIC ball here.
If it came out, it's BIC's ball, 100%. Let's see it.
The second effort from Snags, he reaches his whole body
Oh,
out,
yeah,
and
he's in the
literally
sky.
in the air in the Superman pose. The
Oh,
ball
the
goes
ball's
out.
The ball's out.
It's going to be
Snaggy, that ball's out, man.
sometimes.
That's why you just kind of hope for the.
And the crazy part is that would have been a first.
It
The
would
extension would have given him the first
if he
held on to it.
So
Would've
it
been
will
the
be BIC ball, and it looks like Carnell Wachter, K-Wack, a little tired, a little verschnicked. So it will be 1st and 10, and it's the 3rd turnover of the afternoon for the
And if you're going to beat BIC, you're on offense. You can't turn the ball over.
But again,
their defense is doing everything that they should be doing.
Someone mentioned keeping it a secret was a good move. I don't see how keeping your quarterback a secret was a good move, because what did it really do for you?
I think your point is even better. Maybe there has to be a different guy trying it out, because that's basically what they're doing.
If
is
you
seeing if
want
they
to
can figure it
fly,
out.
put in Sly.
Jason Sisson.
Sisson off the screen will run right into the defender. An interesting choice there. Not a lot of room to work
And
with.
holding the
but
ball as if he was trying to give it back to the Gators.
Right. And he's
2nd and 10.
He did that once already against the Gators too.
And it will be second
Wow.
and a moderate amount. Second and about 8. Well, pardon, a little bit more than that. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, 2nd and 8. You were right.
Just looking at where the Gators' defensive line was set up, it was a little yard or 2 off the line. And right now, with 3:55 left to go, the BIC have to feel really good here. They've caused 3 turnovers.
Of course.
Causing 3 turnovers, able to stifle a Gators offense that had some sparks of life in it on that last drive. Snag Sosa was the weapon they went to, but much like the rare breed, heavily reliant on their star player, not able to diversify the ball. And kind of the opposite of the BIC, where they have so many options but have not been able to connect. The snap, Codrington automatically in trouble, and that one will be thrown out.
Oh my goodness, these guys flew in there.
And you see the offensive linemen are looking back like they really had no chance,
It's
because
the miscue.
and it's the mismatch, because the guys that are chasing down Sarah Codrington are speed athletic
Flag
guys.
again.
They're not the big traditional defensive linemen that.
And they will give him an intentional grounding call, so more yards
telling you.
added to the debt.
It's because of that. It's because of the way he's calling the set hut, that set go. It's something wrong. There's something wrong with it. There's something that's always been wrong with it,
That is the-
and he's not allowed to do it today.
That is the 9th offensive penalty of the afternoon
Look
for
at
the
this.
BIC.
One
9
guy blocking. 9?
offensive penalties. That is the 9th offensive penalty of the afternoon for the BIC.
Oh, man.
That is not where you want to be, especially if you are looking at the opposite side of this game. If you are looking at July 10th and you have to play a Patterson U team that thrives
You can't come
off
in
of
like
mental
this.
lapses.
You cannot come in like this. You cannot come in like this.
And
This
this-
BIC would not win.
No. Right now, the Patterson U are
Rob,
fully.
you know what it is. You know what it is. It's the jerseys.
It is the
These jerseys are cursed. They got to burn them in the parking lot. Codrington throws
Why
a
not let it
dime
fly?
and almost out of reach
He's
on
over.
4th and
So,
18.
Corey, quarterback extraordinaire, please explain what's going on.
Another 4 and
Well,
out.
the problem there is you see that two receivers are running within 5 yards of each other, so we don't even know if Sterry was throwing it to Cizon, who the ball was closer
That's what
to,
it looked like.
or he overthrew Ashanti Worthy. And when you're running two routes that are in the same spot, it's just poor design, and you don't allow for the confusion on switching routes that are going in and out of each other.
And here's a question that I have, and it's not a disrespect to anybody. Did the BIC walk into today not as prepared as other games? And are they not playing with the same kind of edge they played against the Force? Because there was a different kind of energy in that game entirely.
I have a hot take. I have a hot take.
Oh, please.
BIC might be saving their best for the chip and literally looking like they're throwing the game.
And Matthews in motion. That is the hottest of hot takes. And
Oh.
there's a toss to snag Sosa, who will get to about the 49 and run out of play.
BIC might be saving.
Oh, and there's a cramp.
I was going to say that looked like a BD, business decision there.
Yeah, and he comes immediately off the field. He might have got he got a foot stuck in the turf, quite possibly. And it is hot out there today. In here, it's about 84 degrees.
No, it's not. It's not. It's very nice in here. It's cool in here.
Yeah.
It's not muggy in here at
The
all.
weather
Not
today
musty.
is a high of 84. It is not musty in here.
It's not musty in
It's
here at
a
all.
nice, big, aerated room. It just looks like
so
we're in a
much
pit.
space. Again, man, I just don't see Ricky. Ricky has to show me something.
You could see the frustration out there on Matthews' body as he walks to the line. He thinks he's got this.
Him and Ricky Tate. The snap and the dead ball. Oh,
What a flop! That was an amazing
I
flop.
have
legendary.
seen. I have worked in professional wrestling for a decade.
Wow.
That was the biggest sell of my professional life.
That was amazing.
We say we
At
take
least
soccer.
he tucked his chin on the
We
on the
take
way down.
soccer out of the game. Well, there's as much soccer as you've ever seen. Ready? Right now.
Oh, wow, that was great.
That is just the power of a variety play right there. He's pulling up.
Oh, that's
And
a
the
sandwich.
momentum from the air
I'm
coming
waiting.
off
I'm
of
waiting
his
to hear from the sideline. My neck, my back,
right.
my neck and my back. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Somewhere
Oh, my
in Baltimore
goodness.
is saying that should be a 15-yard penalty.
Right? For real. Flop. Oh, my God. Variety. How
The
could
Grammys
you?
are coming up, right?
The ref knew better. That was a great flop, though.
It's like he had the entire force just shoved into him at
For real.
once.
Yo, pause.
Snap on 2nd and 10. Robinson thrown.
Okay, there it
Matthews
is.
Get
will
up.
get
You got
to
it?
the 50.
Let's go!
It was only 3 yards. It can't go full Super
They
Saiyan.
can't go.
Don't use your SmackDown special all the way right now.
He's finna disappear soon.
I don't know. I can't.
Don't be
I
Mr.
can't
Satan.
respect-
Don't be Hercule. Don't gas
Hercule,
yourself
yeah.
up like that.
Not too much, right?
I can't condone a full Super Saiyan on a 3-yard game.
On a 3-yard gain, yeah.
But
No,
maybe
no,
maybe
they
that's
need
maybe that's
that.
the beginning of it.
Right, maybe. Because he needs to chip away at this BIC team.
It's 3rd and 4. 23 seconds left to go on the clock. And the Gators here.
Big
Looking
bone
to
at
make
the
something
wide receiver.
Bone has lined up more at wide receiver in this game than he has in the past 3 seasons,
I swear.
and I've yet to see a pass his way.
The snap, and here comes the house. All of Trenton coming
Oh,
through. Block swatted. Intercepted. Slip slide. Take it to the house. Touchdown.
Well, Burton, who plays tight end for BIC, he hasn't
said he
gotten the
gonna get
ball
him
on
one.
offense. He wanted to score
He said
today.
he's going to get him one. That's it. Bye-bye.
John Burton looking
Who's the
like he's
kid
about
with
to
the
fist fight
sleeveless?
Looked like
Whose son
Tekashi
is that?
6'9" dyed his hair.
Whose son is with the sleeveless outside? Bye-bye, Burton.
And look at
They
this here.
sent
Just
the house.
4th turnover
My
for the Gators. and
goodness.
the most costly of the day.
That's
as
the
great
one.
as their defense has played against a phenomenal BIC offense, the Barney jerseys are not doing it for the offensive
Not at all.
side of the
They are.
Gators. And Burton, who had his eyes on a touchdown at the tight end position, finds his way in the end zone.
He said, I will not be denied.
They have been chopped and they have been screwed by the BIC defense for the 4th time this afternoon. And
Yeah, look at the eyes. Yeah. Yeah.
that's an angry man.
So I told him
Madison
to
Chief
get one.
is upset that he didn't get the points there.
What is he mad about? Is he literally mad he didn't get the touchdown?
No, I
when
think
you play
that's his regular
defense,
face.
yeah, when you play defense and you're launching your body at other human beings with no pads consistently at full speed, you have an X on your jersey, and your nickname for yourself is Psycho. You can't be even questioning him grumpy on the sideline after a defensive touchdown.
But I think at this point, if you're watching the game and you're a Baltimore fan and you have the numbers to the guys that are running the things over there at the Gators, put Sly at quarterback.
Well, I can tell you right now, the Gators wish that they had a Lenny Manziel type to come in and save the bacon, because
that was John Goss Jr., but he's hurt.
He's hurt.
And that's terrible. Like,
all I'll say is that Lenny Manziel in the Baltimore League was available as a quarterback to have, and he's coming from the Vikings, so, combining with the Cobras, there was even a question as who was going to be the starter week 1, as we saw Lenny Manziel as the initial starter against BIC week 1. But that performance that he put on just now against the U,
right.
He's going to have some calls
from the rare breed. We just found out Buck was actually hurt.
Raheem Chaney was suffering an ankle injury, which is why he was subbed out. Going for 1 here are the BIC to go for 19. Be up by 19, and the catch. Will it count?
It looks like it from Cizon. I don't know if he's in.
And Mighty Mouse will light the lamp. They'll count that one, and that is how we will end the third quarter. So the Trenton BIC's defense, when it mattered most, the offense wasn't able to get it on 4th down, but the defense able to light the lamp when they needed it. And now with a 19-point lead, the BIC will head into the final 15 minutes of the quarter with the lead and a chance to ice this one. Will they be able to do it, though? Will the Gators be able to bounce back? We find out when we got 15 minutes of ball left. It's the A7FL playoffs on Stadium.
Now we got to put the fork in them. Defense, let's go put the fork in them. Nice, a high chair right here. Like a high standard. Defense, let's go put the fork in them. Let me get in, one of y'all. No. He's not going far. Each one get a leg. Hey, let's go.
We are live here, 25-6 your score. The BIC with a 19-point lead. Walking into the second half, it felt like anybody's ball game. It still is, but the Gators are going to have to light the lamp on this drive.
Well, the Gators with the rare touchdown pass. It just so happens it was to John Burton for BIC.
I knew you were going to say that.
And so far for the Gators offense today, only 2 completions.
I think we have a surprise at the return here.
Ayote drives through the pile, but will be brought down, and it will be first down.
When you saw Big Mook, number 103, switch off with Cohen on the 3-on-1, you knew that there was some weight back there on the return.
It is an interesting choice there. If the mismatch was there, I think we would have seen 6, but smart move there to bring in number 103.
If it wasn't 6, Matt, it would have been a certain highlight.
It would have been splat. Is the 6 a splat 6?
So let me guess. Fourth quarter, we put in Sly.
I
right?
see Sly, yeah.
That's
I
what we
see Sly.
do.
And after a play like that,
goodness.
obviously it's tough. But when you're
If Sly
you're
produces, the Gators through the
it's
game.
too little, too late.
He
Tate,
produces.
now wins.
Like,
But Sly is also one of the vocal and emotional leaders of this team. You'd think that if it was necessary, that he would be the one calling for it.
Sly's a team player.
Yeah, but it's also his responsibility, if he's the leader of the team, to play the position that he probably doesn't feel like playing.
Matthews in the slot. You see Aote on the line. He's an eligible receiver. Snag Sosa set up to the right of Washington. And the handoff. And Sosa will be met after a short gain, trying to extend again,
that's
which
not
is what
Snags.
cost
Who
him
is
the
that?
ball.
That's the guy they call Slick with 2 C's.
Slick
Pardon me,
with
yeah,
two
that is
C's.
the person slated to be David Dinkins.
Who
My
knows?
eyes going on me here, but that was Slick with the run. And it will be second down, second and about 6.
I'll say this: Gators really have offended me with their offensive performance so far. They got plenty of time, but what they've shown is maybe that a team like, I don't know, say the U could run north-south against this BIC defense.
1,000%.
Handoff again, straight up
Just
the
ran
field,
straight into Big Mook.
and Mook there. He's made his presence known in the last
These
4 or
playoffs.
5 games.
Yeah, I want to say he has been a playoff monster this year.
And the last couple of games of the regular season, too, he has been someone that has been a definite.
And he's just one of the many options that the BIC have at their defensive line. We've barely even seen any Casey Fennessy, the White Mamba.
I feel like that energy mixed with Verardi and Columbia, that level of just aggression, might be illegal. Might violate a league rule.
And you saw that Bear, number 40, for the offensive line for the Gators, he got in on Psycho, which just makes him even happier.
Third and
Master
3.
Chief.
The snap. In trouble is Washington. Washington will run upfield.
Oh,
He gets a
he's
block
fast.
and a little bit of help.
Oh,
Washington.
He's fast.
And the lateral,
Oh.
keeping this one going. It'll be a first down.
Oh, my
And why is it
goodness.
always Nick Mays that somehow is there for the dump off?
Wow.
Yeah,
Look
Rob-
at the
Rob is-
offensive
Rob is really
production.
offended
Like,
right
come
now.
on, man. I've been calling for this first quarter. First quarter. Look at the offensive production with one drive, bro. Like, that's ridiculous.
With one play.
Great block.
And then just
Excuse
finding
me,
that
excuse
low.
me, Psycho.
Oh,
Excuse me, Verardi. Excuse me, Tate.
And
Come
clearly
on.
a backwards.
If Tate was there half a second earlier, I
Yeah,
think
it could have
that's
been something, but again, that's what Sly can give you.
And Sly, when you don't have the option of a quarterback throwing the ball, Sly has shown that he's clearly a more athletic and faster version of that running quarterback than Ricky has been. So, you know,
He also
man.
seems more comfortable in the pocket.
Because he has more bounce. Now these guys can't pin their ears back like idiots and go after him. They got to contain because he's going to take
the
off.
problem, though, is that you still don't necessarily have to cover anybody.
The ball,
How about you
the
make
spot
him
of
throw?
The ball might be challenged. We'll see.
He
what-
might have stepped out earlier on in this run. We'll see.
Let's see.
See, the
Excuse
pressure
me.
comes real quick, but he's able to elude it, and then he gets up the sideline. He might be
Oh,
out of.
that
I don't
looked-
think he's out of bounds, but
I
again,
don't
I
think
always
so.
skew
Close.
offense.
That's big cleat energy
And he
right
did
there.
it on the BIC sideline.
So BIC's going to – I don't know why BIC – let it go. That's
Big.
big cleat energy. You feel me?
You've said that multiple times
I
in
have.
my life, way too many times.
I'm not going to lie. It comes from
Is-
one guy.
Oh no!
Nah,
it
he
looks
didn't
like
step
he's in
out.
bounds.
Yeah, he didn't step out. But those big old cleats, man, I'm telling you, Verardi, look, he's cutting these guys up.
And then the toss directly to Mays, and it will be. It looks like it'll be a first down.
And that by far and away is the best offensive play for the Gators.
Play
so
will stand.
when
BIC
you're-
might lose a timeout here.
when you're looking at a spark, you know, you take those 6 points that they just gave BIC off the board. If the Gators get in, then they would be in a one-score game with about 8 minutes left.
Come on.
BIC, by virtue of the challenge, will lose a timeout, and that's costly here.
Snag Sosa to Sly's flank to his left.
Right, but you got Bone, you got Nick Mays. He has threats.
And he has Antoine Matthews at the top of your screen.
Who's looking for more than that 3-yard slant. He's
definitely clamped, though. Tate got him
Yeah,
clamped.
Ricky Tate
Yeah.
was staring him down, and the box is loaded. 6 men looking to come right after Washington. Play action. Here comes the pressure. Throws this one
still
deep,
throws it.
intercepted by Ricky Tate.
I could have sworn I said he's clamped. Ricky Tate is clamping him.
Stradamus again.
I don't know. Like, no one is listening to me. I told Sly go in first quarter. Then I told him, your guy's clamped. Ricky Tate is not to be thrown to. He's 6'3".
You can't contradict yourself, though,
No,
because
there's no
maybe the reason that
contradiction.
Sly isn't going into quarterback is because when he gets the quick pressure, he just presses the circle button, bails on it, throws a very easily intercepted ball from Ricky Tate.
It's Ricky Tate,
And that's the
man.
5th turnover for
And
the Gators.
4th interception of the afternoon for the BIC. That Jeter throw.
Ricky Tate is 6'3" and could jump about 7 feet. You're not getting it on the other bald head guys. It's the battle of the baldies.
Also, Rob, I heard you. I see you. You're not alone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But the BIC.
You know what? Sly made the tackle.
Sly's the answer, man. I'm sorry. I don't care if he threw an interception. Sly's still the answer.
Codrington, the handoff on the sweep, cutting up field. That's
It's
Sisson, and brought down hard, and it'll be 2nd down. A flag on the play.
Sisson showed that he has the speed to change games, but when he's had to get physical, we all hold our breath.
Yeah, just a little bit. I feel like his bones are going to break or something.
Well, he survived this far.
He needs some milk, possibly. Some calcium deficiency.
Well, he needs to talk to Chris Hunter, number 8 there, who knows just how to be that size at a skill position.
Chris Hunter? Nah.
And once we get word what the flag was,
There's too many. At this point, I'm tired of the flags.
So
I
is
feel like
Snags.
I'm in Buffalo Wild Wings with all this yellow. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is going on?
I'm mad that you said wings because I am
I'm
starving.
That's probably why I said wings.
Ugh. I would fist fight somebody for some barbecue wings right now.
Well,
I'd slap box and haunt.
the question going in the first quarter, guys, was going to how would the red uniforms affect BIC? And right now,
I mean, this is the
They've
lowest
had
scoring
a day
game.
defensively. That's the thing. 4 interceptions, 5 turnovers.
Actually,
and if you're going to wear death row,
wear
death row, you do have to bring it on the defensive side. They do have 5 turnovers.
Ask yourselves the real question here: did they have a day defensively, or do the Gators not have an offense? Like,
It'll be
we gotta
1st
real.
and 2 on the play. 10:40
So the
left to
rare,
go.
the
Rare
rare
1st and
8,
2.
the
Rare
rare
8-yard penalty.
8-yard
It was from
defensive
I would
penalty.
assume
My
it's the spot of the
goodness.
foul. It'll be
Has
1st
to
and
be.
2. In the now and later purples are the
spy.
Gators. Throws this one downfield. Codrington!
And who did he throw it to?
Bonsoir. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. There's the Sisson. And this one is elementary, my dear. Touchdown, BIC.
Well, if you want to get it back on track,
and
throw
there
it
it
to your
is, there it
receivers.
Oh, boy.
All right, this is played out.
And
now.
that has broken the curse of the red jerseys, I think.
Nah. I mean,
How
listen.
much do they need to win by to break the curse of the red jerseys?
It's not that. It's BIC held to 25 points all the way to the fourth quarter against a team that didn't have a. Oh, Butcher got cooked. I'm not going to lie. That was nasty. That was nasty.
Best play of the day for Worthy
That
and
was
Codrington.
nasty. I thought you was going to lock me down. Oh, my goodness. I
That
thought he
is
gave
a
him the
salute.
peace sign. I
That
thought he gave him the
is-
peace sign.
That is the type of salute.
Bye-bye.
Jersey salute.
Oh, my
Yeah.
They call that one the
goodness.
Springsteen.
It's you see, Sisson's a little bit more
Yikes.
peaceful there with the two fingers first.
But Sisson was a little nervous, too.
Sisson's a
He
brand.
gets cooked.
And just 52 just looking to block anyone.
And what you missed there on that is that was one of the dirtiest double moves I've
Oh,
seen.
God. That was nasty.
Butcher
I'm
has-
not going to lie. That was
Butcher has
nasty.
played number 11. Butcher has played well today,
Yeah.
Butcher
but
always plays well.
totally gets turned around
Yeah,
on the
he
double
gets-
move from
oh,
Ashanti
my
Worthy.
goodness, he gets cooked.
And then Ryan Cohen is somehow flipping in the air. And then Jalen Croom's making an appearance to do a gator chomp in the end zone after doing.
And they will go for one here, 31-6.
It's a whole lot of breathing
It's
today
a whole lot. I mean,
for BIC's offense.
and the crazy part is, outside of that, I think Butcher played Ashanti Worthy well today. But when you get cooked like that, oof.
Well, when you're,
Yikes.
I'll tell you what, we talked about it in the previous game when Lenny Manziel for the rare breed, came in and gave the offense a spark. The defense responded.
Right.
When you go in and it's your 5th turnover for the Gators offense, once your defense, who has played very well, they get back onto the field, it's almost the exact opposite response, and where it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to be able to win the game if you can't put up points.
True.
So it'll be the 1-point attempt from the 5. It's Chris Hunter looking to catch a ball. Number 8 at the top of your screen.
Codrington will just
Great
roll
block by
out to
Chris
his
Hunter.
left, throws it across his body.
Big. It's not a big boy touchdown, but it can be appreciated.
Bonsoir to thick boy season. Population Tyler Patricio. BIC lighting the lamp one more time, and the big man getting in with the dancing a little bit. And with 10-10 and not WINS left to go in this one. Every 22 minutes, we'll be bringing you football. On the other side of this break, we'll see if the Gators can find a way to get back into the end zone. Here we see BIC getting another extra point, crucial in this game. It is
Yikes.
thick boy season, and we are 10 minutes and 10 seconds away from finalizing an A7FL championship game. Will we get a repeat of last year, or will the Gators, with Sly Washington, find a way to come back? We'll find out on the other side of this one. It's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium.
Okay, fucking you good, tight end. I see you. I see you building up your resume.
Who is in charge of special teams? Some preview next week. Me? I'm a tackle. I'm going for the ball. I'm gonna just go.
Talk to me last time.
Oh, hi there. With 10-10 left to go,
Hello
it is
there.
the A7FL Final Four. Oh, hello. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. It'll be number 13, Amani Skinner, returning the ball here. And here's the toss by Worthy. Worthy will throw this one. High pop fly,
Oh,
a
those boys
high
are
arc
fast.
ball. And it's caught inside the 5, and Skinner gets hussed.
He gets
and he almost gets the
Oh,
ball
whoa,
ripped
whoa,
out
whoa,
of
whoa,
him.
whoa,
Keeps
whoa.
standing. Ashanti Worthy down, but the Gators.
So who's on the floor?
That's Ashanti Worthy.
Yeah, but he's smiling, so I'm pretty sure he's not
Smiling,
injured.
yeah,
okay.
he's
Hopefully.
fine.
He's just a little schnicked.
This is pride.
His nickname is Hollywood, guys, so a little bit of drama
Trying to
is,
get that
is
golden globe.
right on brand. But you see the type of teammate that Master Chief is. He's the type of USMC performer that should never leave a man behind.
Yo, he did get trucked. That's why he's on the floor like that. Yeah, he got trucked.
His
he got
spirit
trucked.
left his body. Is it as bad as being knocked out by Deontay Wilder? Probably not.
No, not even close.
But that had to
Not
suck.
even close.
That had to suck.
He laughed it off.
If that was me, I'll be making my funeral arrangements.
Probably. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not going to lie. When I play football, that happens to me on a consistent basis, so I just get back up. It's
That's tough. That doesn't
another day at
sound
the
fun.
office.
I can't relate to either one of you guys in that regard. I'm sorry.
You ever have a rib contusion?
No.
Nope.
I think I still do.
The worst I've gotten was like a stinger, but that's like a normal.
You know why I'm wearing this silicone wedding ring? Is because my metal one still doesn't fit this broken finger.
Yes.
1st and 10. YouTube. Are you guys tough enough to play A7FL?
Go to a7fl.com/players. Sly Washington under center. Has a lot of time, but a sea of red coming in. Trying to part it like Moses. Washington in trouble. Finds his way down the sideline. Gets to the 40
Like
and
I
will get
said,
traced out of bounds.
I still believe in Sly, and if he was doing this from the first quarter, it's a different game.
Yeah, but what he's doing is he's standing flat-footed looking downfield as
to
if
get a pass
there's
off.
any chance of him throwing it downfield after that interception. And we all know with 32-6 what his main goal is the stat line, and he is not throwing another pick. Look at it. No quarterback is ever throwing it like that. Nope. Not throwing it. Not throwing it.
Nope.
Not throwing it.
Excuse me, Verardi.
Pardon me, excuse me.
Abby Mansaray goes for the wrong move.
He heard the mention of Buffalo Wild Wings and was like, I'm out.
I'm
And
outta here.
all I have to say is that Jonathan Soltis just went out for a pass for the BIC defense.
Kind of crazy.
If we see that again from that angle,
His
number
hands were
14, he turned around to run with Sly as if Sly was going to throw it to him. Soltis, my man.
It will be Sly Washington
Oh, he's
under center.
exhausted.
He is
He is pooped.
feeling the heat.
And with his throwing prowess, we all know that this is more than likely going to be.
If he gets one completion, Corey, you got to give me like 25 push-ups. There's no way.
I should do 25 push-ups anyway to just get myself, in better shape.
Back
So
in shape.
let's hope for it.
To go against the YouTubers.
And a flag on the play. And
Against YouTuber, I don't know if I have to do push-ups. I gotta face the U and BIC.
Hold on.
have to step your Madden game up.
Listen, don't. I mean, I don't know.
There's some real athletes on that side of the ball.
Let's throw it to the chat though, because if we talk about Madden because we're talking about YouTubers, and obviously it's a virtual
All
game
sides
that
on
they're
the
probably
defense.
excelling
Another
at.
penalty on BIC.
They may set a record here. This has been the season of records for BIC, putting up 80 against Snow Tribe, and maybe putting up
almost
a record
100
amount.
penalty.
It's
we'll
more
get
than
the
100.
official numbers. Shout out to our statistician, stats and graphics today by David Soberman, and production services from our
Rob,
producer.
keep an eye on the YouTube chat. If we were to have a Madden game for the A7FL, what would it be called? Would it be called the DePaul 2023? Would it be called? What would it be called?
Well, let us know in the chat and let us know on social media. Use the hashtag A7FL.
Funnier the better.
14 penalties so far on the day for the BIC. Interception!
To Jonathan Soltis.
I told you he was going out for a pass.
And he
John
might get his
Soltis.
touchdown! He might get his touchdown! Slip slide! Touchdown!
Okay,
BIC!
Salty. Okay, Salty. There it is.
And he was
There it
so
is.
tired
He
after
was-
the
yeah.
run that he could barely even do the proper form
Gator
on the Gator clap. And right now, this is the best touchdown dance we've seen from BIC. The assault on John Soltis after he does catch a pass. I am Corstradamus. I knew it was happening.
You did call it.
The ball was tipped, though.
was tipped.
Great
Oh,
job
wow,
by the
great
BIC
job.
defensive line.
Technically, do I owe the 25 push-ups because that is completion?
That is a completion for a touchdown. Just not to the right team.
So the BIC defense, as much as
Wow,
we talk
good
about
job,
the BIC
Abby.
offense, the BIC defense scores 2
at
touchdowns,
Salty. Look at Salty.
outscores the Gators offense.
Look at Salty.
And he thought that a Don Beebe was coming in to rip his points out of it. That is a former Hawk at the beginning of the season. That was a Hawk, and he said, you know what? I'm going to make the championship with BIC as a
outta here.
BC, maybe even D- player. And he gets his shine, scoring a touchdown in the Final
There
Four.
you go,
And
Salty.
everybody in the stadium
There you go, Salty.
And that was
knew that this was a
Soltis.
touchdown as soon as he gets
that
into
was
the
number
open field there.
55, David Lopez, the
With the
hero of the
swat?
game with the SWAT.
Nice.
Number 55 getting the SWAT.
Salty, you can show this to your kids for years to come and say, kids, I was great. I was amazing.
Unsportsmanlike conduct
Unsportsmanlike
on the
conduct
Gators.
on BIC for having Soltis score a touchdown in the 2020s. He used to be a very formidable player, especially on the defensive side of the ball in the 2010s.
Right.
Over under for Jonathan Soltis scoring today, guys. If you checked FanDuel, this is a joke. 1,000,000 to 1. So somewhere somebody has Jeff Bezos money as we see CP3 here.
CP3 with the
At the quarterback
death row
position.
jersey.
Some people saying they'll waive it. And CP3, former MVP behind center, throws a pop fly, and that will be swatted out of play. First
The
time we've seen
story-
Corey Price today.
Let's just be honest. The story of the game, once it's watched back, is that BIC's defense was able to put up 12 points.
Yeah.
Their offense did not produce like they normally do.
But sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes all that matters is the whole team shows up. Because we've seen it from the U so far this year. Sometimes where the offense isn't all the way there, the defense has to carry it.
Let's break it down this way again, Rob, too, because the Gators' defense did show up, and although the BIC was able to put up a lot of points on offense, it's not the points that they're used to putting up. I think we would feel a lot more comfortable with the BIC offense heading into a potential championship match.
Putting up their 40, 50 points on 50, offense,
right?
Offense and kick return.
But as dominant as the BIC defense has been today, it's really the Gators' defensive line that has been almost as impressive, because they've made an MVP candidate in Sterry Codrington look relatively pedestrian, and that is the blueprint moving into the championship game if the U want to finally get that win in 2022 against this BIC team, which they've been waiting outside of that door that we could see out as we're getting a barely a breeze off the Asbury Park water right there.
Stop saying that. They're going to think it's musty in here. It is not musty in here. There's a lovely, cool breeze that is caressing my
arms. What Rob
arms.
is saying is that all of us have showered recently enough that it's not what you're imagining.
And here's an interesting stat. Heading into today, the Baltimore Gators, they lost by 38-13 in their first game against the Patterson U. I'm trying to find my stats here, but Patterson U the BIC held the Gators to 13 points in their first game. With 7:23 left to go, they're not able to get to that high water mark. Last year was 38-34 in this exact same game between both of these teams.
Right.
And Jason Sisson will throw it up.
And the Gators, when it was 38-34, the Gators were knocking on the door to get those extra 6 points that would have put them up by 3.
And also, have scored over 26 only once this season. In a 31-6, the Gators have only scored over 26 so far this season. So to try to come back against that is a real hard ask for this team right now. But Skinner will return the ball, and he'll cut up the sideline, and he will be brought out of play. But a solid run brought out around the 35-yard line.
Big Mook is pretty fast for a guy that size.
That is the takeaway from that one.
Yeah.
Monty Skinner thought he had one.
He
gave Psycho the little and then my man Mook was like
Psycho's one of those straight line runners, like Isaac with more hips.
All right, so your solution for Sly at quarterback has worked perfectly when he runs, and every time his arm moves in a forward throwing motion, it's been an interception.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Right.
But the reason that he wasn't out there is because I think the Gators knew better than anybody that their best opportunity was if somehow Ricky Robinson was able to complete passes. And as you see him in the background limping, what they're asking Sly to do is something that he's not necessarily capable of doing. Not that he's not a great player, not that he's not one of the legacy, all-time Gators players,
right.
A champion, and one of the only Baltimore champions in this league. It's just you're asking him right now to do something that he's just not capable of doing, which is beat BIC with his arm.
And if you were the Gators and you understood heading into this game that John Gauze Jr. was not going to be here, and you're taking a look at this defense.
Oh, mismatch.
How do you create this opportunity? And immediately Washington in trouble, throws this one, almost intercepted that time by Psycho Columbia.
Well, Soltis wasn't out for the pass there on the route, so he didn't have a target.
But how do you answer that? Like we see the levels in this game, and we talk about the need for a consistent presence behind center.
Right.
Not even an elite quarterback, because there's only 4 elite quarterbacks in this league. But when you take a look, there could be a conversation for 5. But in terms of just being able to be behind center, because one quarterback who was slated to start so far this season didn't see a lot of time, and you're seeing a lot of just mixing and matching.
Yeah, and we talked about it when we were having the mystery of who was going to play quarterback for them. When you're asking that question in the Final Four, it's a question that's got a really bad answer regardless of who it is.
Oh, but Washington throws this one on a dime, and that one out of reach. Both guys playing the ball. That one intended for number 10, not Tony Roberts.
A little bit more outside.
I got to hear who your 4 quarterbacks are. I'm very interested.
Sterry Codrington.
1. Huff, 2.
Quattro Huffin.
2.
Mark Bagway.
3.
OG Buck.
After today, you still put OG Buck up there?
Well, if he was
one
he was
performance.
Injured.
No, I'm just asking.
One performance doesn't take away from a great
No, he's still on my list.
From OG Buck. And OG Buck has been a long-time top-level quarterback in this league.
Buck's still on my list. Buck is one of my – I want an OG Buck jersey. I say it all the time.
But But after the performance we saw today against that Patterson U defense and how we saw them perform last week, it's about the resolve.
Right.
About answering the bell. And, the guy sitting to my right, he can certainly bring it, but we haven't been able to see much of a chance. And the pressure immediately, Washington in trouble. Cannot set, flag on the play, and he'll be brought down inside the 40. That tackle by number 3, Jaquise Worley. We've seen him a couple of times today, called his name once or twice.
I promise I've never heard his name before today. I'm joking. I'm joking. Worley's doing this thing. He's part of K-Wax crew.
Well, and what we were talking about is the elite quarterbacks in this league. NFL stands for not for long. Well, even in this league, it's even for shorter, because John Gauze, who is the penciled-in starter at the beginning of the season for this Gators team, a Gators team that with Jawan Linscomb on the roster, Bone on the roster.
I haven't seen Jawan either.
This was an on-paper team that we thought was going to be a contender, and obviously they are. They're in the Final Four.
Right,
but when John Gauze is your penciled-in starter, is one of those potential elite quarterbacks. You mentioned, teams in the Elite Eight, in the playoffs, even – let's just take the Renegades, for example, and I'm not putting myself into it. Of course I am.
Of course he is.
But
That's why he used the Renegades.
The Renegades,
of all teams.
The Renegades are a better example of what the Snow Tribe team was talking about is when they lost against the Vegas Force, their narrative coming out of the season is, oh, wait till we get a quarterback. I feel like the Renegades are saying the same thing. I feel like the Hawks thought that they might have too, and now if you ask guys in the Hawks, I think what they're telling me to my face, and who knows what they're actually going to do when the regular season comes around, because I'm their option. When you're looking for a quarterback, when you're looking for a quarterback, no matter who you are, when you're asking that question, you're putting your team in a tough spot, because that's the most important position on the field.
Or the option, Hammond sitting to my right on the other side of Ham's big
Not
Rob
the answer
Fabian.
like
AI. I'm just an option.
The option Hammond.
The snap. Washington.
He is exhausted.
Throws this one deep downfield. Oh, in the hands of the receiver.
Well, regardless of who the quarterback is when you're a receiver and the ball's in your hands, you got to make that catch. So blame JJ.
JJ Radcliffe.
Snags took off the bandana, so now he's in grown man, let's get out of here mode in the best way possible. I'm not sure if that's going to be fun for everyone.
Caustic conversation with 4:13 left to play. It'll be 4th and 13. After everybody figures out what karaoke song they want to sing at the after party.
And also, maybe that's a sign for somebody to go play some lottery numbers there. 413, I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't happen. Oh, they changed it to 417. How dare you?
But with 4:17 left to play, the A7FL championship picture is looking very clear.
Very clear.
For July 10th.
But is it, guys? Because I think before today, I think a lot of people might have thought that the rare breed might have been in this game and not the
they had a chance.
That BIC was maybe an unbeatable team, a team of destiny that has earned it. But now, after 120 minutes of football, we might be in the exact same spot we were a full year ago when these two teams were headed into the game where there was a clear favorite and a clear underdog.
So
based on today's performance.
You think it's switched?
Today shows a good advantage to why walking into this game, the defending champions might be the favorite.
Really?
In terms of just momentum.
Let's
if we're looking
handicap it
at
right
pure
now.
momentum.
Let's handicap it right now. If you were to go into July 10th, you versus BIC, which unless we see some kind of
miracle happen.
Miracle happen.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to wear the red jerseys, which I think is a big factor, guys.
Yeah, I think we really need to not look past the red jerseys.
The red jersey thing, and just to put it into perspective, the last time red jerseys were worn, me and Rob were on BIC losing 50-0 to the Immortals in the Final Four of the 2018 playoffs. He doesn't want to talk about it, and I'm always making fun of myself. Matt Riddick made me look ridiculous that game.
They have group every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. But it will
CP3, another throwback.
1st and 10 for the BIC.
But BIC beat the U twice in head-to-head matchups, and both of those games in the regular season felt like BIC was the better team those days.
Price now in at quarterback, Umar Lewis in the slot, and Corey Price will get on his bicycle. CP3 will get the first down.
I want to throw that to the chat as well. Like, please, guys, throw up the U.
Are we going to
the
be
U hand symbol if you think the U is going to win, or the BIC fist if you
Are
think
we
BIC is going to win?
prisoners of the moment? Because as many struggles as we've seen BIC's offense have today, Sterry Codrington still has a stat line that you will take in a potential championship matchup. It's just the struggles in the air may be the difference in 2 weeks from now's game, because the difference heading into those two matchups in the regular season and then the championship for the New Jersey division guys were that when the U allowed Sterry to beat them with his arm, thinking that that was going to be the game plan, make Sterry beat us with his arm, he did beat them with the arm. Does he have the confidence going into 2 weeks from now to get right back on a horse and perform at the level that we expected him most of the season? Or is this blueprint that the Gators defensive line has shown with the speed rushers, which the U has in guys like Fletch, guys like Pitts?
If used properly, sure, yeah.
And at the 2-minute warning, it's 38-6.
Or does BIC go back to maybe we put courage into the game and have him put up a sweat?
We're going to take a brief timeout here at the 2-minute warning. We'll be back on the other side of this. 38-6 your score. Will CP3 and company finish this one out? We'll find out in a moment. Right here, it's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. With the Patterson U looking for their 5th A7FL championship, their 3rd straight appearance. They have the winner of this one waiting for them on the other side on July 10th.
Don't touch me.
Right now, with under a minute 58 left to play, it'll be the BIC with the ball and the lead. And joining us here in the booth is a piece of hardware that will show off in just a moment or two. Something that Rob Fabian is certainly very happy to see in front of him.
All
happy
smiles.
to have.
All
and
smiles.
something Corey Hammond is trying to avoid like the plague.
What? I'm not avoiding it. I'm just
Avoid touching it, not professionally.
I really wanted this. This is something that I've pursued. It's just in my career.
But it will
I only
be.
had that one opportunity with BIC, and then Big Fern didn't want to play.
He
against
was
the Immortals.
messed up.
He was hurt. I'm not
really was.
calling him out for not
It'll
playing.
be first.
Son was hurt.
If he played.
1st and 10, and the
completely
pressure
different
cutting
game.
upfield.
Oh, yikes. He
CP3
gets the throw
somehow
off.
makes the
Big
pass.
Mook.
Big Mook making it happen, matriculating the ball
Sheesh.
downfield. It takes 3 players, and one of them being Joshua Butcher, just completely launching himself at Big
Big
Mook
Mook
to stop
clearly
him.
goes to the gym, guys. Just chill out.
Barbell
Clearly.
plates and T-bone steaks. That's all he consumes, and it will be a first down for the BIC.
Shout out to Corey Price with a great play there to get the ball somehow in his receiver's hands.
Speaking of which, the consensus in the chat is they still have BIC as the favorites. I've only seen a few guys mention the U, but everybody threw up a fist when I asked them. What are you touching, fellas? That's sick. You'll see soon. Touching the baby.
Yeah, don't be weird.
Don't be weird, guys. Don't be weird.
And Price, not a lot of time, throws this one deep, and that one will fall in front of Sisson.
Yeah, Sisson has to adjust to the ball better than the air.
Yeah,
That's
he's not
one
good
thing
at that. He's not good at that. I'm not a fan of Sisson. I don't think without Ashanti there and all these other guys,
I think
he's
with
a star.
the options there, one of the things that he does is he takes the top off the defense with his speed.
Yeah.
Which is something
Yeah,
that I think a
it's
lot of these
great.
teams
And-
would take.
And guys, 45 seconds away from it, but might as well talk about it. July 10th, the rematch of rematches. The
Yeah.
Patterson U looking for their 5th championship, their 3rd straight, their 4th straight appearance in the A7FL championship game 2019, 2020, 2021, and now 2022. The BIC looking for their 2nd championship, winning it in 2016 on the back of Courage Mosey on an MVP caliber season.
On the back of
And-
Rob Fabian.
And Rob, and you were on that
I
2021
was on
championship team.
and the 2016 BIC championship team. I was part of BIC's only championship, and I was part of the U's last championship. I am history incarnate.
You are.
Like I said, don't touch me.
And this one is all over. The Patterson U will be facing the Trenton BIC.
BIC
And
for
can
the rematch.
can the BIC do relatively the impossible on July 10th at 4 p.m.? Can they beat the Patterson U three straight times?
That's
We've
crazy.
not seen it in the A7FL, but the BIC have been able to pull off 2 straight wins against the Patterson U. The Patterson U won last year's series 2 straight games, winning them in defeating them in the New Jersey Championship game, which is now the Northeast Championship game, and then once again when it mattered, the A7FL Championship. Gentlemen, this one's going to be, we talk about Game of the Year, but this is the most anticipated rematch
for
in
sure.
A7FL history. The 2 best teams in the league facing off, and there you see it right there. July 10th, starting at 3:30 Eastern, will be the pregame show. The BIC and the U. The U walking in as the 5 seed. The
Which is
BIC
crazy.
walking in as the 1 seed. The BIC remain undefeated. Right now, the momentum is switching back and forth. We're going to take a brief timeout, and when we return, we'll wrap this one up for you. The BIC make their way in, hold the Gators to 6, but can they do that to the Patterson U? We're going to find out in 14 days' time. This is the A7FL Final Four. We'll be breaking down the championship game for you when we return here on Stadium. We are back here live in 14 days. The A7FL championship game will go down on July 10th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We will bring you the pregame show as the Patterson U will take on the Trenton BIC one more time. The BIC have won the last two, and there you see it right there, what both teams will be playing for, the A7FL championship, brought to you by our friends at Herff Jones. And the mean mug from Corey Hammond there, you see the trophy. Big Rob Fabian, one of the last to hold that one up. The nameplate says 2021 champions because the Patterson U were able to hold on to it until today at the completion of the Final Four. That championship returns to the league, and we will be getting a brand new nameplate and looking to see who will walk out of here as the 2022 champions. But the BIC walking out of here today, revitalized in the second half,
right,
finding some rhythm on defense, over 5 turnovers, 2 pick sixes, finding a great opportunity today to really reinvigorate themselves after what was a really rough first half.
Yeah, and as Rob is trying to rub it in, the fact that I have 1 playoff victory in my 10-year career, and he has 2 championships, and he's reminding me every single time. I was only ever the favorite in that 1 playoff game, too, you jerk.
Do you want a hug? I will give you a hug.
You know how many times I've been murdered in this league trying to get that thing, and this is the closest I've been to it, and I don't want to even have to look at it?
Come here, buddy. Come here. It's okay. We love you. We love you. It's okay.
Who needs hugs when I got chips? Who needs...
But we're off next week for the 4th of July. On July 10th, if you're watching the A7FL for the first time, if this is your first interaction with spring football at this level, do yourself a favor. Cancel any plans. See everybody you want to see during Independence Day weekend. Your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, that weird dude that lives across the street that smells like ham. Get people opportunity to see other people out of the way. Block off the entire day of July 10th, because not only will we replay the Final Four games, but we're going to come to you with a pregame show and an extended postgame to crown the A7FL champion, the A7FL 2022 championship MVP, and break down all the action for you. All 3 of us will be here live from Asbury Park Stadium. Special pregame show. I want to shout out our entire staff today. I want to shout out Rocco DeMilo up in the booth. He's our scorekeeper. I want to shout out David and Alex Soberman, our stats, graphics, and producer Ryan DePaul and John Kachanan, making sure we're staying on the air, rocking the replays, rocking the switcher. Shout out to John K, Pat, John, everybody in the cameras. Shout out to Jared Wright. Shout out to Carl Meisner taking photography. Shout out to John Schiavone, who's at home. And here's the deal. I wanted to say thank you because this has been the best A7FL season I've ever been a part of. But the way we're tapping this one off, the way we end it, is in 14 days' time, 3:30 p.m. on Stadium. Can the BIC do something that no one's been able to do in years? Beat the U 3 straight times. No one's ever been able to do it. But can a team beat another elite team 3 straight times? Will it be Huff and Moon, or will it be Codrington and Worthy? Will it be Mo Ramadan and J-Rock, or will it be Verardi and Columbia? Which team is going to get there? We'll find out in 10 days' time. For Big Rob Fabian, for Corey Hammond, we'll see you back here 3:30 Eastern, July 10th, BIC U3, who folds?
Death row on 3.
Listen, it's death row for the niggas that's not here, too. They still got to get right. You know, man. Right. 1, 2, 3. Death row! Hey, I got this one. I need one for the hood, yo. Meet me at the car. I need one for the hood, yo.
I need JJ to look up when he's running down the fucking field.
That nigga broke JJ had 3 picks when he
Get out of here!
Yo, that be the main thing, son. That be the main thing. Oh my God.
I jumped my leg. Where am I? I need weed, man. Damn
All right, T. Yo, if y'all could, everybody cash at me $5 so we can pay the shooter, please. Just $5. We had a personal camera lady out here. She out here taking pictures, making sure we all good.
Who sell nickel bags? Who the fuck sell nickels? Y'all better stop it. Unless y'all bagging up a whole QP of nickels.
Paul skated. Oh, you did.
Yo, Kenneth.
Yo, oh, hey. Hey, Jed. Hey, Jed.
I'm not trying to get on Nick. He'll get paid.
Hey, Salty's gotta get back. He gotta fix
All right,
it.
sir.
And he returned it. It's not ain't nobody touching it.
It's like that picture. John, it's slippery. I can't grip it. Nah, I know, but y'all lefties have a wiggle to your throws. I cannot. I hated that shit in baseball. I was playing first base. I'm throwing that shit and that shit. I'm like right here and that shit.
JJ, you had one, right?